Chapter 195. Lu Yiping and the others were surprised to hear that Jade-Faced Wolf Lord had obtained the Red Lotus Golden Buddha. I didn't expect Jade-Faced Wolf Lord to obtain the Red Lotus Golden Buddha. Taurus Longjiao sighed. The Red Lotus Golden Buddha was a Buddhist object that could only be obtained by those who were not fated with it. Therefore, Taurus Longjiao was surprised that Jade-Faced Wolf Lord had obtained the Red Lotus Golden Buddha. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord was neither righteous nor evil, so it was impossible for him to obtain a Buddhist object like the Red Lotus Golden Buddha. Taurus Longjiao would not be surprised if Wuzhe had obtained it. Just as Lu Yiping and the others were rushing towards the Demon Moon mountain range in the south, they saw a young man who looked like a spoiled brat running towards them. A large group of experts was chasing after him. There were probably tens of thousands of them. There were experts from various sects and clans. There were the Jyotian's Yen tribe and Stone Golem tribe, the Nether Purgatory's Treant tribe, the Golden Giant tribe, the Demonic Dragon Palace, the Lifeless sect, the Night Soul tribe, the Ma family, the Diamond sect, and the Divine Land Suppressing Hell Divine Nation. They were all superpowers from the Jyotian, the Nether Purgatory, and the Divine Land. Shimi ancestor Wuzhe was dumbstruck. He had lived for so many years, but this was the first time he saw someone being hunted by so many superpowers from the Jyotian, the Nether Purgatory, and the Divine Land. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord? He guessed. Only Jade-Faced Wolf Lord, who had obtained the Red Lotus Golden Buddha, was worthy of being hunted by so many superpowers. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord was running for his life, but when he saw Lu Yiping and the others, he frowned. Without a word, he threw a punch at Lu Yiping who was blocking his way. Taurus Longjiao reached out and passed through Jade-Faced Wolf Lord's fist, dispersing it before grabbing Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord was stunned, but before he could react, Taurus Longjiao had already grabbed him by the collar. Taurus Longjiao lifted Jade-Faced Wolf Lord in front of him from across the void. He squinted at him and said, "Little guy, you dare to attack your Grandpa Ox with such little strength? Do you know who Grandpa Nyo is?" Jade-Faced Wolf Lord stared at Taurus Longjiao in shock. He couldn't believe his eyes. He was one of the 10 great experts of the heaven battling era, yet this golden-haired man had grabbed him by the collar and lifted him to the front without giving him a chance to resist. What realm had this golden-haired man reached? Furthermore, he discovered that the power in his body had unknowingly been sealed. "Who are you?" Jade-Faced Wolf Lord looked at Taurus Longjiao in horror. At this time, the experts chasing after Jade-Faced Wolf Lord also arrived. However, many people stopped in their tracks. "Master of the Holy Devil, Lu Yiping!" someone in the crowd exclaimed. Some of the experts who were about to snatch Jade-Faced Wolf Lord's body trembled in fear. They stopped in their tracks as their internal organs trembled. Disregarding everything else, just the fact that Lu Yiping had stepped into the Kunpeng divine sect and roasted the giant dragon archdevil was enough to make the experts who were about to make a move pale with fright. Even existences like the Kunpeng divine sect's founding ancestor and the leader of the demonic dragon palace's 10 great generals, the giant dragon archdevil, were powerless in front of Lu Yiping. Some of them were even heavenly gods. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord jumped in fright when he heard the crowd's exclamations. This blue-robed young man in front of him was the ancestor of lightning punishment, the master of the holy devil, Lu Yiping. Then, this golden-haired man was a 9th Revolution war god? Jade-Faced Wolf Lord was terrified. Many people turned to look at the demonic dragon palace's Long Gang. Long Gang was clad in a golden dragon armor. He was tall and sturdy, even more muscular than Taurus Longjiao. He exuded an imposing aura. His gaze was fixed on Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Dragon chi surged from his body, and the world's laws flew out from his body, forming a 10,000 zhang long golden dragon. The 10,000 zhang long golden dragon hovered behind Long Gang, looking down at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. A terrifying pressure filled the air, as if heaven and earth were about to collapse under the pressure. The experts who were close to Long Gang were all shocked. World's laws, 250,000. The lifeless sect's founding ancestor Tan E, Ma Bing, and the others were astounded looking at the world's laws. The Kunpeng divine sect's founding ancestor had 110,000 world's laws. Long Gang, on the other hand, had reached 250,000. The demonic dragon palace's experts prostrated in excitement. Ancestor is invincible. Even the hell-suppressing divine country's ruler Duan Hong was shocked. This Long Gang had actually condensed 250,000 world's laws. He had estimated that Long Gang's strength was comparable to the Kunpeng divine sect's founding ancestor's strength. At most, Long Gang's world's laws were 10,000 times more than the founding ancestors. How could Long Gang's strength be so strong? The Starry Ocean sect's ancestor Meng Fuding was also astounded. Long Gang slowly walked forward. Every step he took caused the ground to rumble. The ground he walked on actually cracked inch by inch. Long Gang walked out, looking at Lu Yiping, come out and fight with me. His voice rumbled, echoing for miles. Even the mountain range in the distance was shaken. Everyone's attention was on Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping glanced at Long Gang's 250,000 world's laws and said nonchalantly, "You dare to challenge me with just 250,000 world's laws? Who gave you the courage?" Everyone's expression turned strange. Only 250,000 world's laws. Too little. Long Gang's expression was ugly. He looked coldly at Lu Yiping. "Although you're the holy demon's master, it doesn't mean you're stronger than him." In this world, it wasn't rare for disciples to be stronger than their masters. Everyone knew that the holy demon's talent was unparalleled. Not only did he have one of the top 10 ancient bloodlines, but his comprehension was also terrifying. He could learn any cultivation technique at a glance. The holy demon's talent was unparalleled, but it didn't mean that Lu Yiping's talent was also unparalleled. At this time, the Starry Ocean sect's ancestor Meng Fuding stepped forward and came to Long Gang's side. His aura suddenly soared, and stars condensed behind him. There were thousands of stars. Starlight shone, enveloping the surroundings. At the same time, the world's laws surged out from his body. 310,000 world's laws. Everyone was shocked. The Starry Ocean sect's ancestor Meng Fuding was actually stronger than Long Gang. "If that's the case, how about adding me?" Meng Fuding said indifferent. "Not enough." Lu Yiping was indifferent. "Then, add me in." The hell-suppressing divine nation's ruler Duan Hong stepped forward and said. Radiant light shone from his body, condensing into numerous radiant sovereigns. 230,000 world's laws spread out. 25, 31, 23, the three world masters' power was boundless. Wave after wave, it was like a vast sea that wanted to drown the entire eternal demon realm. Under the three world masters' terrifying pressure, countless devil creatures in the eternal demon realm fled in panic. Experts from various forces also retreated in fear. Only after they had retreated far away did they feel a little better. The lifeless sect's founding ancestor Ma Bing looked at Long Gang and the other two world masters standing side by side in shock. He took a deep breath and said, "With the three of you joining forces, Lu Yiping is bound to lose." The hell-suppressing divine nation's ruler Duan Hong looked at Lu Yiping and said, "Lu Yiping, with the three of us joining forces, we can challenge you." Chapter 196. Still not enough. Lu Yiping shook his head. Everyone was stunned. Long Gang, Meng Fuding, and Duan Hong's faces sank. At this time, a person walked out from the void. "How about I join in?" He took a step forward, and his momentum surged. Layers of starlight filled the eternal demon domain's sky, illuminating it with starlight. Strands of world laws intertwined around it. The number of world laws had reached 570,000 strands. 570,000 strands. That was more than twice the number of Long Gang. Even Meng Fuding, who had 310,000 strands of world laws, paled in comparison. Everyone was shocked. This one is the Star Sea Divine Sex Wang Haitao. The newcomer came to Meng Fuding's side and introduced himself. It was another Star Sea Divine Sex ancestor. This time, the Star Sea Divine Sect had sent 2 sovereigns. Wang Haitao. He's the Star Sea Divine Sex Godchild's senior brother. Someone exclaimed. A commotion broke out. Indifferent, Wang Haitao looked at Lu Yiping and asked, "Do you think the 4 of us aren't enough?" Lu Yiping didn't say anything. His momentum surged, and heaven and earth shook. The ground quaked, and cracks appeared in the void. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled in the sky. Shocking lightning dragons roiled in the air, and a sea of divine lightning covered every inch of the eternal demon domain's sky in the blink of an eye. Then, a towering figure appeared behind Lu Yiping. This figure wasn't the heavenly emperor's physique. Instead, it was shrouded in lightning. Above its head was the eternal demon domain's sky, and its face couldn't be seen clearly. It held a giant lightning hammer in its hand. The hammer was formed from numerous lightning dragons. The terrifying might of the lightning god swept across heaven and earth. Everyone was shocked. "Is that the ancient lightning god?" Someone exclaimed. "No, it looks like the lightning ancestor's incarnation." An ancestor who cultivated in lightning arts said in a trembling voice. "Lightning ancestor. The lightning ancestor." After heaven and earth split apart, the lightning ancestor was the lightning ancestor's incarnation. At the same time, he was also the origin of heaven and earth's lightning. When this incarnation of the lightning ancestor appeared, space began to rumble. The golden dragon behind Long Gang actually began to crumble apart, and the stars behind Meng Fuding and Wang Haitao began to fall to the ground. The chief sovereign of light behind Duan Hong also began to crumble apart. Lu Yiping snorted coldly. His snort was like thunder, exploding in the sky. Behind him, the lightning ancestor's incarnation suddenly smashed down with its giant lightning hammer. As the mountain-like lightning hammer came crashing down, a violent airflow swept out, surging, and attacking the surrounding heaven and earth. Many mountain ranges were bombarded by this violent airflow until they were on the verge of collapsing. Long Gang, Meng Fuding, Wang Haitao, and Duan Hong all felt the aura of death as they watched the mountain-like lightning hammer smash down. The 4 of them were shocked and attacked almost at the same time. Great Wisdom Vajra Dragon Fist. Long Gang attacked with all his might. A huge fist mark flew out along with a huge golden dragon. Limitless Astral Divine Fist. Meng Fuding and Wang Haitao simultaneously used the Star Sea Divine Sex Supreme technique. The Limitless Astral Divine Fist was not only the Star Sea Divine Sex Supreme technique, but it was also one of the top 100 techniques of the 17 world surfaces. Wherever the Divine Fist passed, the starry sky was filled with stars, and a giant star god condensed. Light gathered behind Duan Hong, making him look like a bright sun, bursting with radiance as he punched out. Radiance Purification Fist. Radiance energy surged forward like a tidal wave, unstoppable. The roiling devil chi around the eternal demon domain was purified by the radiance energy. The 4 of them joined hands, and their radiant power illuminated the surroundings for miles. Boom! The 4 of them struck the giant lightning hammer at the same time. Heaven and earth rumbled. Rays of light burst out. However, what shocked everyone was that when the 4 people's powerful attacks hit the giant lightning hammer, it didn't budge in the slightest. Instead, it continued to hammer down on the 4 people. How is this possible? The hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom's ruler Duan Hong couldn't believe it. Seeing this, the hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom's ancestors were shocked. One of them roared, "Activate the hell-suppressing divine formation together, help the ruler." Immediately, the hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom's 400 existential planes flew up behind Duan Hong and activated the Radiance Prison suppressing art at the same time. What kind of scene would it be if 400 existential plane masters activated the Radiance Prison suppressing art at the same time? It was as if a giant radiant sun had exploded, and radiance rushed to the sky like a flood. The 400 existential plane masters attacked the giant lightning hammer at the same time. When the 400 existential plane masters attacked, heaven and earth were filled with radiance, and the darkness in the eternal demon domain seemed to have disappeared. Boom! The 400 existential plane masters of the hell-suppressing divine kingdom attacked the giant lightning hammer at the same time. But the giant lightning hammer did not budge, and it continued to smash down. Even if the 400 existential plane masters of the hell-suppressing divine kingdom attacked at the same time, it was still not enough. The Devil Dragon Palace's existential plane masters and the Star Sea Divine Sex existential plane masters also flew out and attacked together. Devil Dragon Hidden Killing Fist. The Devil Dragon Palace's existential plane masters roared, and they attacked together. Surging Dragon Force roared and flew out, forming a giant devil dragon. The devil dragon spun and condensed into a fist. This time, the Devil Dragon Palace sent out almost all of their existential plane masters. There were more than 600 existential plane masters. More than 600 existential plane masters attacked together, and their destructive power overshadowed the previous existential plane masters of the hell-suppressing divine kingdom. The Star Sea Divine Sex existential plane masters also roared in unison, and they struck out with their palms. Starlight shone brightly, and rivers of stars appeared in the sky. From afar, it looked like there were rivers of stars in the night sky. The Devil Dragon Palaces and the Star Sea Divine Sex experts attacked the giant lightning hammer at the same time. Rumbling sounds rang out incessantly. It sounded like the end of the world. However, the lightning hammer was not blasted away, and it continued to smash down without slowing down. Even the 600 existential plane masters of the Devil Dragon Palace and the 200 existential plane masters of the Star Sea Divine Sect could not stop it. All of a sudden, the thunder hammer expanded again. After the lightning hammer that was originally as big as a mountain grew bigger, it smashed down with a momentum that blotted out the sky. The hell-suppressing divine kingdoms, Devil Dragon Palaces, and Star Sea Divine Sex experts watched the descending lightning hammer in shock and despair. Run! Long Gang roared and transformed into his true dragon form. Dragon Concealment Art. He immediately executed the Dragon Concealment Art in an attempt to escape. Duan Hong, Meng Fuding, and Wang Haitao also executed escape arts to escape. Meng Fuding and Wang Haitao even crushed the Star Sea Divine Sex ancient escape talisman. Before everyone's eyes, the world-extinguishing lightning hammer smashed down. Space shook. Boom! The ground trembled for a long time. Sand and dust flew high into the sky. Even the people who were hiding far away lost their sense of hearing due to the vibrations. The sand and dust did not fall to the ground for a long time. Far away, the hell-suppressing divine kingdom's third prince Duan Pengfei looked at the lightning hammer that smashed into the ground and cried out in grief, "Father! Lord Great Ancestor!" The Devil Dragon Palace's experts cried out in grief. "Ancestor!" The Star Sea Divine Sex experts also cried out in alarm. The lightning hammer fell too fast. Long Gang, Duan Hong, Meng Fuding, Wang Haitao, and the others did not manage to escape. All of them were smashed into the ground by the lightning hammer. Chapter 197. Experts from the Tualuo Path, Lifeless Sect, Night Soul Race, Ma Family, Diamond Sect, Yen Tribe, Stone Golem Tribe, and the Divine Land's other super forces were dumbfounded. Long Gang, Meng Fuding, Wang Haitao, Duan Hong, the 4 World Lords, the 600 World Lords from the Demon Dragon Palace, the 200 World Lords from the Star Sea Holy Sect, and the 400 World Lords from the Hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom. A total of 1,200 World Lords couldn't even withstand a single blow from the lightning hammer. Whether it was the black-white twin ghosts of the Tualuo Path, Ma Bing of the Lifeless Sect, or Yi Tua of the Night Soul Race, they were all dumbfounded. 1,200 World Lords, 4 World Lords, all lost. Ma Bing of the Lifeless Sect muttered to himself with disbelief in his eyes. How strong is this Saint Devil's master? He Sha of the black-white twin ghosts felt his throat go dry. At the same time, he was glad that he didn't make a move during the Heavenly One Pavilion's auction. Who can be a match for this Heng Yuan? Does this mean that we've entered the Lightning Ancestors era? When an invincible person appeared in this era, it meant the beginning of a new era. Lightning Ancestor, Saint Devil's Master. Is that really the Lightning Ancestor's incarnation? Everyone looked at Lu Yiping and the Lightning Ancestor's incarnation behind him in shock. At this time, the lightning hammer was still surrounded by lightning, and the lightning energy was still rolling around it. Father! The hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom's third prince, Duan Pengfei, rushed forward, but before he could get close to the lightning hammer, he was blasted away by the lightning energy around the hammer, rolling several hundred miles on the ground. Duan Pengfei vomited blood and fainted. The Lightning Ancestor's incarnation slowly lifted the lightning hammer, causing the ground to tremble. Everyone looked over and saw that the place where the lightning hammer struck had turned into a huge crater with a radius of several thousand miles. The Demon Dragon Palace, Star Sea Holy Sect, and Hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom's planar lords' corpses were lying on the ground, no longer breathing. These planar lords' corpses were so badly mangled that their faces couldn't be seen. However, Long Gang, Meng Fuding, Wang Haitao, and Duan Hong's bodies were still intact. Long Gang and Long Gang bodies were lying on the ground, and hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom's incarnation. After all, these were the four controllers. Hell's prison's lord. One of them was the ruler of the hell-suppressing godly nation, the #1 power in the divine land. Meng Fuding and Wang Haitao were the patriarchs of the Starry Ocean Divine Sect. Lu Yiping didn't recall the Lightning Ancestor's incarnation. Instead, he looked at the people from the Lifeless Sect. His gaze fell on Ma Bing, Tan Yi, and the others. Ma Bing, Tan Yi, and the rest of the experts shuddered when they saw Lu Yiping looking at them. I heard that the Death Door Sect and the Demon Dragon Palace have formed an alliance to kill me. Is that right? Lu Yiping said calmly. Our Death Door Sect and the Demon Dragon Palace are indeed in an alliance, but we're not trying to kill you. Ma Bing tried to argue. Lu Yiping waved his hand in the air, and countless snow-white objects fell from the sky. What is this? Snow? No, it's runes. When these snow-like talisman symbols fell from the void, they came into contact with the sand and dust in the air, freezing them into ice. The terrifying power of the ice made the Lifeless Sect's experts tremble in fear. Ma Bing, Tan Yi, and the rest didn't even hesitate to flee. However, these snow-white runes suddenly accelerated, falling on the Lifeless Sect's experts in the blink of an eye. Whether it was Ma Bing, Tan Yi, or the Lifeless Sect's patriarchs and grand elders, all of them were frozen into ice and fell from the sky, shattering into pieces. Thousands of Lifeless Sect's experts were turned into ice cubes. The Ma family, Vajra Sect, and Night Soul Clan, who had always been allies with the Lifeless Sect, were enraged. The remaining experts from the Demon Dragon Palace, Starry Ocean Divine Sect, and Hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom retreated with ashen faces. Lu Yiping looked at the remaining experts from the Ma family, Demon Dragon Palace, Starry Ocean Divine Sect, and Hell-suppressing Divine Kingdom. One of the Starry Ocean Divine Sect's experts bellowed, Lu Yiping, our Starry Ocean Divine Sect is a super force in the void plane. We have countless plane controllers, and our great ancestor is an expert on the god list. You killed our Starry Ocean Divine Sect's experts, our great ancestor will descend to Heng Yuan. At that time, it will be too late for regrets. When I kill someone, I never regret it. Lu Yiping said indifferently. He pointed a finger at the sky, and a hole opened in the sky. However, this time, it wasn't divine lightning that fell from the hole, but divine flames. There were all kinds of divine flames. Nirvana divine flame. Nihility divine flame. White divine flame. Chaos divine flame. These divine flames condensed and spun, turning into pillars of fire that fell from the sky. Heaven and earth were bathed in a crimson glow. From afar, it looked like pillars of fire connected heaven and earth. It was a beautiful sight. Looking at the terrifying pillars of fire that fell from the sky, the Starry Ocean Divine Sex experts roared in anger, "Lu Yiping, when our great ancestor arrives, you won't have a good ending. Kill. Run." Some of them charged at Lu Yiping recklessly, while others fled in a frenzy. However, the pillars of fire continued to fall. Everything was burned to ashes. The experts from the Tualuo Path, Stone Golem race, and Flame tribe clearly saw the process of Jia turning the experts from the Demon Dragon Palace, Starry Ocean Divine Sect, Hell Suppressing Divine Nation, Ma family, and Night Soul race into ashes. This process seemed to have slowed down, and everyone could see it clearly. They could even see the fear in the eyes of the Demon Dragon Palace's experts when they were hit by the pillars of fire. Boom! Several pillars of fire slammed into the ground. They burned through the ground. Flames and ashes splashed everywhere. The flames in the pillars of fire spun, and it took a long time for the pillars of fire to dissipate. There were several fiery pits on the ground, and lava spewed out from the pits. The ground was much emptier than before. Lu Yiping's gaze swept over the scene. When his gaze fell on the Tualuo Path's ancestor, Yukuan's legs went soft, and he fell to his knees. The twin fiends Black-White, Stone Golem race's great ancestor, Flame tribe's great ancestor, and other experts lowered their heads, not daring to look at Lu Yiping. Everyone's hands were shaking. Lu Yiping withdrew the lightning ancestor's incarnation behind him, and his gaze fell on Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. Currently, Jade-Faced Wolf Lord was in Taurus Longjiao's hands, his face devoid of blood, and his body was limp. No one knew if it was due to fear or his weakness acting up. "Are you all not planning to leave?" Taurus Longjiao asked when he saw that everyone was still standing there motionless. The experts from the Tualuo Path, Flame tribe, Stone Golem race, Treant race, Golden Giant race, and other forces felt as if they had been pardoned, and they fled in panic. "The Red Lotus Golden Buddha's body is with you?" After everyone left, Lu Yiping asked Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. Hearing Lu Yiping's question, Jade-Faced Wolf Lord was dazed for a moment, unable to recover from the scene he had just witnessed. When he regained his senses, he quickly released the Red Lotus Golden Buddha's body. A Buddha whose entire body seemed to be plated with gold appeared in front of the crowd, emitting Buddhist light. This golden Buddha's body had red lotus insignia on both arms. The Red Lotus Golden Buddha's body was sentient, and when it saw Lu Yiping, it knelt down excitedly. "The Red Lotus greets Lord." Jade-Faced Wolf Lord and Shumi ancestor Wu Zhou were both surprised. Did this Red Lotus Golden Buddha know Lu Yiping? Chapter 198. Get up. Lu Yiping helped the Red Lotus Golden Buddha up with one hand. Lu Yiping looked at the palm imprint on the Red Lotus Golden Buddha's back and turned to Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. Frightened, Jade-Faced Wolf Lord quickly explained, "Lord, it wasn't me, it was the Star Sea Holy Sex people." The Red Lotus Golden Buddha also spoke, "Indeed, it has nothing to do with him. I was being chased by the Star Sea Holy Sex people, and he saved me." Although he had the Red Lotus Golden Buddha's body, it was only a golden avatar, and did not possess the Red Lotus Golden Buddha's strength. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord nodded heavily, and he was so grateful to the Red Lotus Golden Buddha that he shed tears of gratitude. "Fortunately, you spoke up, otherwise, I would have lost my life just now." Recalling the scene of the lightning ancestor's lightning hammer annihilating Long Gang, Meng Fuding, Wang Haitao, Duan Hong, the Devil Dragon Palace, Star Sea Holy Sect, and the hell-suppressing divine country's 1,200 worlds overlords, Jade-Faced Wolf Lord's heart trembled uncontrollably. Even when he was being chased by the Devil Dragon Palace's experts, using all kinds of talismans to escape, he did not tremble like this. Hearing that it had nothing to do with Jade-Faced Wolf Lord, Lu Yiping's expression relaxed. He stretched out his hand, and a ray of light entered the Red Lotus Golden Buddha's body. The palm imprint on the Red Lotus Golden Buddha's back disappeared in the blink of an eye, and the Red Lotus Golden Buddha's body shone brighter than before. "Let's leave this place first." Lu Yiping led the group out of the eternal demon domain, returning to the inn in Blue Crystal City. Night fell. Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the Red Lotus Golden Buddha sat in the inn's courtyard. Lu Yiping held a map in his hand, and it was precisely the map of half of the Big Dipper Divine Palace's treasury. The other half of the map is with Luo Shui? Lu Yiping asked. The Red Lotus Golden Buddha nodded. Yes, before the ancient gods' war, Master gave the map to me and junior sister, and we each took half. Do you know where Luo Shui went? Lu Yiping asked. Red Lotus Buddha shook his head. After junior sister left Hengyuan, no one knew where she went. Moreover, I'm not very clear about the matters of the ancient times. Lu Yiping nodded. This Red Lotus Buddha golden body was only one of the Red Lotus Buddha's golden bodies. It did not have the power of the Red Lotus Buddha's true body and only had a small portion of its memories. Lu Yiping stored the Red Lotus Golden Buddha body into the cauldron of heaven and earth and used the cauldron's elixir energy to nourish it. The Red Lotus Golden Buddha body was a little fragile. If it was nourished by the pure qi of the cauldron of heaven and earth, it would grow much faster in the future. The next day, Lu Yiping called Jade-Faced Wolf Lord over and gave him 20 drops of Star Chaos Water as a thank you gift for saving the Red Lotus Golden Buddha. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord held the jade bottle with 20 drops of Star Chaos Water in it, his heart trembling uncontrollably. As the grand ancestor of the Jade Fan School, he naturally knew what kind of treasure the Star Chaos Water was. Thank you, my lord. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord expressed his gratitude. Lu Yiping allowed him to stand up before taking out the tree of creation and started watering it with the Star Chaos Water. Over the past few days, under Lu Yiping's daily watering, the tree of creation grew even more pleasing to the eye. After watering it every day, a tender leaf would grow out. In the past, it was a tender shoot. Now, it was a tender leaf. There was an improvement. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord, who was still trembling uncontrollably over the 20 drops of Star Chaos Water, stared blankly at Lu Yiping watering the tree of creation with the Star Chaos Water. He felt that his heart was no longer trembling. Instead, it felt like it was about to collapse. As Lu Yiping watered the tree of creation, he asked, "Do you still remember how he annihilated the Purple Lightning Palace 100,000 years ago?" Annihilated the Purple Lightning Palace? Jade-Faced Wolf Lord collected his thoughts and knelt down in fright. His face was pale as he pleaded, "Spare me, my lord." Lu Yiping said indifferently, "Get up. I'm not condemning you. I just want to ask you something." Only then did Jade-Faced Wolf Lord relax. After he got up, he trembled as he asked, "What does my lord want to know?" "I'll tell you everything I know. Do you still remember the Purple Lightning Palace's patriarch called Huang Yuandong?" Lu Yiping asked. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord was stunned. He did not expect Lu Yiping to suddenly ask about Huang Yuandong. He tried his best to recall the past and said, "Back then, I only killed the Purple Lightning Palace's patriarch and a few patriarchs. I didn't really annihilate the Purple Lightning Palace. There were still many patriarchs who survived. I don't know about this Huang Yuandong, but I know someone called Che Guohua." Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were surprised. Che Guohua? Che Guohua, wasn't that Che Dongyang's grandfather? That means you know Che Guohua's whereabouts? Lu Yiping asked. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord hurriedly answered respectfully, "Yes, my lord. A few years ago, I saw Che Guohua in the Divine Land." Lu Yiping was delighted. If Huang Yuandong was still alive, Che Guohua might know. Huang Yuandong was the one who found the second Fortune Jade Disc. The Fortune Jade Disc was far more important to him than the Foundation Tree and Buzhou Mountain. Therefore, he had to find Huang Yuandong no matter what. Knowing that Che Guohua was in the Divine Land, Lu Yiping was overjoyed. With a wave of his hand, he gave Jade-Faced Wolf Lord another 20 drops of Star Chaos Water. "If Che Guohua can help me find Huang Yuandong, I'll give you another 100 drops of Star Chaos Water," Lu Yiping said. Jade-faced Wolf Lord swallowed hard and thanked Huang Yuandong excitedly. The next day, Lu Yiping and the others left the Four Directions Sea and headed to the Divine Land. As for Shimi ancestor Wu Zhe, he bid farewell to Lu Yiping. In the Hengyuan world plain, the Divine Land was as famous as the Jiutian and Nether Prison. However, the Divine Land had passageways to other worlds. Therefore, whether it was the Jiutian or Nether Prison, the Divine Land was more prosperous. On this day, the sun was warm, and three figures appeared in the sky above the Divine Land. They were none other than Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and Jade-faced Wolf Lord, who had come from the Nether Prison. Taurus Longjiao looked at the brilliant sun in the sky above the Divine Land, feeling the warmth of the sunlight on his body. He hated the Nether Prison and loved the sunshine in the Divine Land all year round. The Divine Land's sunshine always made him feel golden, just like the golden hair on his body. Taurus Longjiao shook off the sand on his body comfortably. Of course, there was no sand on his body. Lu Yiping determined the direction and flew towards the city ahead with the other two. Unlike the Jiutian and Nether Prison, almost all the superpowers in the Divine Land were called Divine Nations. For example, the Prison Suppression Divine Nation, Carefree Divine Nation, Forbidden Lands Divine Nation, Cloud Divine Nation, Sky Dragon Divine Nation, Hidden Mist Divine Nation, and so on. The city they were in now was under the jurisdiction of a force called the Snow Listening Divine Nation. Back then, Jade-faced Wolf Lord had seen Che Guohua in the Snow Listening Divine Nation's Thunder Jile Mountain. Che Guohua had been cultivating in the Thunder Jile Mountain for many years and had been living in seclusion there. Back then, Jade-faced Wolf Lord had entered the Thunder Jile Mountain to search for lightning-attributed spiritual herbs. After resting in the city for a while, Lu Yiping and the other two continued on their way to the Thunder Jile Mountain. The Thunder Jile Mountain was located in the south of the Snow Listening Divine Nation. Half a day later, Lu Yiping and the other two arrived at the Thunder Jile Mountain. The Thunder Jile Mountain was a famous mountain in the Snow Listening Divine Nation. It was filled with lightning chi all year round, and there were many lightning-attributed treasures in the Thunder Jile Mountain. Che Guohua's cave abode is on that mountain. Jade-faced Wolf Lord pointed at a mountain in front of them. Tomorrow's fourth update will be released at 7 in the morning. Looking for recommendation tickets, monthly tickets, and subscriptions. Chapter 199. Jade-faced Wolf Lord led the way with Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao trailing behind him. On the mountain path, Lu Yiping's group of three ran into many disciples from various families. Are there usually so many people on the Thunder Swarm Mountain? Taurus Longjiao asked Jade-faced Wolf Lord. Jade-faced Wolf Lord quickly answered, yes, many disciples from the Snow Listening Divine Nations families and sects come here to hunt lightning beasts. A short while later, the three of them arrived at the mountain peak where Che Guohua's cultivation cave was located. However, when they were halfway up the mountain, Lu Yiping stopped and looked at the forest in front of them. Wood Derivation Lightning Formation. The Wood Derivation Lightning Formation was a powerful formation that combined the elements of lightning and wood. It was obvious that Che Guohua was the one who set up the Wood Derivation Lightning Formation to prevent outsiders from entering. Lu Yiping casually flicked his finger and a streak of lightning flew out, landing on the Wood Derivation Lightning Formation. The lightning formation flickered and the forest moved on its own, opening up a small path for the two of them. Jade-faced Wolf Lord was stunned. The Wood Derivation Lightning Formation was a famous formation from the ancient times. How could it be broken with a flick of a finger? Seeing that Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had entered the forest, Jade-faced Wolf Lord quickly followed after them. Just as Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were about to reach the center of the forest, a streak of sword light pierced through the air. Lu Yiping casually flicked his finger, dispersing that streak of sword light. The other party fell out of the forest with a muffled groan. At this time, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao entered the center of the forest. In front of them was an open space with several imposing wooden huts built from trees. Is this Che Guohua's cultivation cave? Who are you? The old man who fell out of the forest glared angrily at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. However, when he saw Jade-faced Wolf Lord behind them, he was stunned. Lord Jun. This young man was a disciple that Che Guohua had taken in a few years ago. His name was Du Dalai. A few years ago, when Jade-faced Wolf Lord bumped into Che Guohua, he had come here. Hence, Du Dalai had seen Jade-faced Wolf Lord before. Jade-faced Wolf Lord hurriedly explained to Lu Yiping, "My lord, this is Che Guohua's disciple, Du Dalai." Then, he said, "Big Thunder, this is Lord Lu, and this is Lord Xiaojin. We are here to look for your master." "Where is your master?" Du Dalai got up from the ground and said, "My master went out for a while. He said he would be back at noon." His master had told him about the Jade-faced Wolf Lord's identity, so he was very respectful when he replied. However, he was curious about the identities of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. He could tell that Jade-faced Wolf Lord was unusually respectful to the blue-robed young man and the golden-haired man. "Sir, why don't we wait inside?" Jade-faced Wolf Lord asked Lu Yiping. "All right." Lu Yiping agreed. Du Dalai hurriedly led Lu Yiping and the others into the big wooden house in the middle. Although the house was made of wood, it was not ordinary wood. It was a rare divine wood called the golden copper divine wood. The core of the wood was made of gold and was abnormally sturdy. After Lu Yiping and the others sat down, Du Dalai hurriedly poured tea for Lu Yiping and the others. The tea was dark green in color, and it emitted a refreshing fragrance. Thunder Star Bloodline. Lu Yiping looked at Du Dalai who was pouring tea and said. The Thunder Star bloodline was an ancient bloodline. Although it was not one of the top 10 ancient bloodlines, it was still one of the top bloodlines. Du Dalai was stunned. He did not expect Lu Yiping to recognize his Thunder Star bloodline at a glance. Sir has good eyesight. Jade-faced Wolf Lord flattered Lu Yiping and said with a smile, Dalai is an orphan. Che Guohua found him at the foot of the Thunder Swarm Mountain when he went out. Later, he found out that Dalai has the Thunder Star bloodline and adopted him as his disciple. He said to Du Dalai, Dalai, these two lords are 10,000 times stronger than me. If you can get a few pointers from them, it will be better than 1,000 years of hard work. Suddenly, a loud rumble came from the Thunder Swarm Mountain, causing the ground to tremble. Du Dalai looked to the north and said, it seems like the Thunder Volcano is about to erupt again. Thunder Volcano? Lu Yiping asked. Du Dalai explained, the Thunder Volcano is a mountain to the north of the Thunder Swarm Mountain. Every few years, it will erupt a kind of magma with lightning aura. However, there are sometimes some fire or lightning attribute treasures in the magma. Therefore, every time the Thunder Volcano erupts, many disciples from the snow-listening divine nations families and sects will come to pick up the treasures. Speaking of this, Du Dalai took out a piece of wood the size of 2 thumbs. I found this piece of wood in the magma of the Thunder Volcano. Looking at the tree block in Du Dalai's hand, Lu Yiping was surprised and said, let me take a look at it. Du Dalai passed the tree block to Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping took the tree block and examined it carefully. The tree block was bright red and warm to the touch. There were strange patterns on the tree block. This is the tree block of the Sun Fusang tree? Taurus Longjiao asked. Lu Yiping nodded, that's right. Although the Sun Fusang tree wasn't one of the 10 great innate spiritual roots, it was still a rare divine tree. It was said that the Golden Crow race during the Desolate Era lived on the Sun Fusang tree. Are there many of these tree blocks? Lu Yiping asked Du Dalai. Du Dalai shook his head, no, I have one. My master has a big one. I heard that the Snow God Nation's monarch also has 2. The snow-listening divine nation's monarch has always liked to cultivate all kinds of divine trees. There are dozens of divine trees in his tree garden, all of which are very rare. However, there is another kind of tree block that the snow-listening divine nation's monarch has never been able to cultivate successfully. Lu Yiping's heart skipped a beat when he heard this. Another kind of tree block. Yes, I heard that there is another kind of tree block that is harder and heavier than this one. Du Dalai said. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao looked at each other. Obviously, they thought of the building tree block. Although they couldn't be sure, there weren't many trees that were harder than the Sun Fusang tree. Let's go to the Thunder Volcano to take a look. Lu Yiping said. Du Dalai immediately led the way, Lu Yiping and the others to the Thunder Volcano. As they got closer to the Thunder Volcano, the temperature gradually rose. Moreover, the lightning chi in the air became denser. A tall mountain covered in flames and lightning appeared in front of Lu Yiping and the others. When did this thunder volcano appear? Taurus Longjiao asked. When he and Lu Yiping came to the Divine Land, they didn't remember seeing this thunder volcano. This thunder volcano should have appeared more than 200,000 years ago. Du Dalai explained, my master already had it when he was cultivating in seclusion at the thunder volcano. My master said that the lightning chi in the magma at the bottom of the thunder volcano was too dense. It mutated and blasted open the ground, causing magma to spurt out continuously, gradually forming this thunder volcano. When they arrived at the thunder volcano, there were already many snow-listening divine nations' disciples gathered in front of it. There were also some from the surrounding divine nations. Chapter 200. Just as Lu Yiping's group arrived, another group of experts arrived. These experts were clad in scarlet robes with a flame embroidered on their chests. It's the Scarlet Flame Divine Sect. When the surrounding disciples saw the newcomers, they quickly stepped aside with fear on their faces. The Scarlet Flame Divine Sect was the largest sect in the snow-listening divine nation. Moreover, they had a deep relationship with the snow-listening divine nation's royal family. The Scarlet Flame Divine Sect's leading young man was arrogant as he led the group of Scarlet Flame Divine Sect's experts over. He said to Scarlet Flame Zhongzhong, the sect chief said that the country lord is looking for that kind of tree block. When the lightning volcano erupts, watch carefully and see if there's any chance of that tree block being ejected. The group of Scarlet Flame Divine Sect's experts complied respectfully. Du Dalai frowned. The snow-listening divine nation's country lord was also here for the tree block in his hand. Lu Yiping's expression remained calm. While everyone was waiting, the lightning volcano suddenly shook violently. Everyone saw flames rising from the lightning volcano's crater as lightning crisscrossed. In the next moment, lava spewed out from the volcano's crater like a flood. Taurus Longjiao suddenly reached out and took out a piece of golden metal from the lava. This piece of metal was the size of a palm, emitting a golden glow and emitting faint lightning flames. Taurus Longjiao laughed, I didn't expect there to be lightning flame golden rock under the lightning volcano. Lightning flame golden rock was one of the most important materials for forging postnatal spiritual treasures. In the distance, the Scarlet Flame Divine Sect's disciples saw the lightning flame golden rock in Taurus Longjiao's hand. Their eyes burned with passion as they said to the leading young man, Senior Brother Zhao, look, it's the lightning flame golden rock. The leading young man, Zhao Tianyu, also had a burning gaze when he saw the lightning flame golden rock in Taurus Longjiao's hand. He said, I didn't expect this big guy to be so lucky to find a piece of lightning flame golden rock. Taurus Longjiao threw the lightning flame golden rock to Du Dalai. Du Dalai was stunned when he caught the lightning flame golden rock. He asked, Lord Shaojin, you're giving it to me? Taurus Longjiao laughed and said, this thing is useless to me and my master. What, you don't want it? Du Dalai looked at Jade-faced Wolf Lord. Jade-faced Wolf Lord smiled and said, since Lord Shaojin is giving it to you, just accept it. Only then did Du Dalai dare to accept it. He then bowed and thanked Taurus Longjiao. The thunder volcano shook violently again, and magma gushed out from the crater once again. This time, there was even more magma gushing out, and lightning flashed incessantly. It's the blue flame lightning pearl. A disciple of the Crimson Flame Divine Sect said excitedly when he saw the pearls flickering with blue flames in the lava. The blue flame lightning pearl could be used to refine pills. It could be consumed directly to temper one's body and increase one's divine power. It was comparable to many transcendent-grade divine pills. The scarlet flame divine sex Zhao Tianyu was overjoyed. Just as he was about to make a move, Taurus Longjiao's hand reached out and sucked all the blue flame lightning beads into Taurus Longjiao's hand. Zhao Tianyu's hand missed, and he looked at Taurus Longjiao with an ugly expression. Taurus Longjiao ignored the crimson flame divine sex Zhongzhong's gaze and threw the blue flame lightning pearls to Du Dalai. Du Dalai was dazed when he caught the blue flame lightning pearls. These blue flame lightning pearls were worth more than the lightning flame golden rock. Jade-faced Wolf Lord laughed, "These things, Lord Shaojin and Lord Lu don't lack them. You can keep them." Du Dalai bowed again at Taurus Longjiao's words, and only then did he accept the blue flame lightning pearls. Zhao Tianyu's face sank, and he walked towards Taurus Longjiao's group. At this time, one of the Crimson Flame Divine Sex disciples said to Zhao Tianyu, "Senior brother Zhao, that person looks like Du Dalai." Lightning Prince Du Dalai? Zhao Tianyu was shocked hearing that name, and he stopped in his tracks. His gaze fell on Du Dalai. "It's really him. It seems to be him. I saw him a few years ago at our Snow Listening Divine Nations Alchemy Conference." That Crimson Flame Divine Sex disciple said. Zhao Tianyu's face darkened. The Lightning Prince Du Dalai was famous among the Snow Listening Divine Nation's younger generation. He possessed the Lightning Star bloodline, and he had already entered the Heavenly God realm at such a young age. More importantly, Du Dalai's master was a world lord. "Senior brother Zhao, why don't we forget about it?" The Crimson Flame Divine Sex disciple persuaded. Zhao Tianyu nodded. Subsequently, the lightning volcano spewed out lava several times. Each time, there were many good things, but the best things were always taken by Taurus Longjiao. Zhao Tianyu's face turned ugly. However, due to Du Dalai's identity, he endured it. All of a sudden, the lightning volcano shook violently again. This time, the shaking was more violent than any of the previous times. Before the lava spewed out, balls of fire and lightning spewed out from the volcano's mouth. The various families' disciples dodged in panic, afraid that they would be hit by the fire and lightning. While everyone was dodging in panic, the lava spewed out, and a tree block appeared in the middle of the lava. This tree block was bright red in color, and it was as tall as a person. It's the tree block that the Snow Listening Divine Nation's master is looking for. Zhao Tianyu was pleasantly surprised. He leaped into the air, and a large net appeared in his hand, covering the tree block. Just as the large net was about to wrap around the tree block suddenly turned and fell into Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's hands. Zhao Tianyu and Crimson Flame Divine Sex disciples were dumbfounded. Zhao Tianyu's face was gloomy as he stood stiffly in the air. In a single step, he arrived in front of Lu Yiping's group. He said to Lu Yiping, "This one is the Crimson Flame Divine Sex Zhao Tianyu. This tree block is extremely important to the Snow Listening Divine Nation's master. Can this one bring it back to him? Of course, we can use other treasures to exchange for it." Just as Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Du Dalai, and the rest thought that Lu Yiping was going to refuse, Lu Yiping suddenly spoke, "Sure." Zhao Tianyu's heart leaped with joy. It seemed like this blue-robed young man was tactful, knowing that this was something that the Snow Listening Divine Nation's master needed. Zhao Tianyu smiled, "What treasure do you want to exchange for?" Lu Yiping glanced at the delighted Zhao Tianyu and said, "I need a pool of Spring of Life." Currently, the Rainbow Gourd Vine needed 2 bowls of Spring of Life every day, which was why he needed it urgently. To him, the Spring of Life was much more important than the Sun Fusang tree block. PFFF. When Jade-faced Wolf Lord heard that Lu Yiping wanted a pool of Spring of Life, he nearly spat out the drop of Star Chaos water he drank yesterday. Every expert of the Hengyuan Plains super forces knew what the Spring of Life was. "What did you say? You want a pool of Spring of Life?" Zhao Tianyu was stunned for a moment before he glared at Lu Yiping. are you making fun of me? Taurus Longjiao looked at the enraged Xiao Tianyu and said, making fun of you? Who do you think you are? Why would my master need to make fun of you? If you don't have the spring of life, then scram. Xiao Tianyu was even more enraged when he heard this. He glared at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao and said in a low voice, good, very good. Then, his gaze landed on Du Dalai and he said, Thunder Prince Du Dalai, right? We will meet again. Chapter 201. However, before Xiao Tianyu could finish his threatening words, Jade-faced Wolf Lord grabbed him by the neck. Jade-faced Wolf Lord snorted, meet again? From your tone, it sounds like you want to pick a fight with us next time. Jade-faced Wolf Lord casually threw Xiao Tianyu to the side of the lightning volcano. A loud explosion resounded. The lightning volcano was formed by the accumulation of lava over the years, and its temperature was unimaginable. Xiao Tianyu felt like he was thrown into a furnace, and his body was scalding hot. He screamed miserably as he scurried around like a rat on fire. The Scarlet Flame Divine Sect and the surrounding forces were dumbfounded. Even Du Dalai jumped in fright. Under the Scarlet Flame Divine Sect's experts' frantic efforts, the flames on Xiao Tianyu's robe were finally extinguished. The handsome and well-dressed Xiao Tianyu's robe was now in tatters, and his body was burned in many places. Even his hair was burnt. Xiao Tianyu looked at Jade-faced Wolf Lord with shock and anger. Shame, anger, and killing intent. Seeing the killing intent on Xiao Tianyu's face, Jade-faced Wolf Lord sent Xiao Tianyu flying with a slap. Xiao Tianyu screamed miserably as he crashed to the ground. His meridians were shattered, and he was barely alive. Senior brother. The Scarlet Flame Divine Sect's experts were dumbfounded. Du Dalai's mouth was dry. One had to know that Xiao Tianyu wasn't just the Scarlet Flame Divine Sect's chief disciple, he was also the sect chief's personal disciple. Even Du Dalai wouldn't dare to do such a thing. But thinking of Jade-faced Wolf Lord's identity, Du Dalai's mouth was filled with bitterness. A short while later, the Scarlet Flame Divine Sect's experts carried Xiao Tianyu away. At this time, the lightning volcano stopped erupting. The other forces' disciples left with complicated expressions. Lu Yiping kept the Sun Fusang tree piece into the cauldron of heaven and earth, and the eye of lightning punishment appeared on his forehead. He looked at the space at the bottom of the thunder volcano, but other than lava, there was nothing. Wait for me here. Lu Yiping's figure flickered as he entered the lightning volcano. Du Dalai was shocked. The temperature inside the lightning volcano was terrifying. His master had said that even a peak late-stage realm lord wouldn't dare to enter. Even a peak late-stage planar lord would not be able to withstand the temperature. After Lu Yiping entered the space at the bottom of the thunder volcano, he took a step and directly sank into the magma at the bottom. Then, he continued to walk down. Half an hour later, just as Du Dalai was about to speak, a figure walked out of the thunder volcano. It was Lu Yiping. Seeing Lu Yiping come out unscathed, Du Dalai was shocked. Master, how is it? Taurus Longjiao asked as he approached. Lu Yiping shook his head. I only found a few pieces of Fusang tree. These pieces of Fusang tree were found at the bottom of the thunder volcano. Although there were other things at the bottom of the thunder volcano, they were of no use to him. Therefore, he didn't bother to collect them. Let's go back first. Lu Yiping looked at the sky. It was already noon, and Che Guohua should be back by now. Thus, Lu Yiping and the others retraced their steps. When they returned to the wooden house, Che Guohua had yet to return. After waiting for another 2 hours, there was still no sign of Che Guohua. Du Dalai couldn't help feeling uneasy. His master had said that he would be back at noon, and now, 2 hours had passed. Jade-faced Wolf Lord frowned. Did your master say where he went? No. Du Dalai shook his head. Master is missing a material to refine pills. He only said that he went out to look for it. He said he would be back at noon. They waited for another hour. Suddenly, a subtle energy fluctuation came from the south of the thunder volcano. Although it was far away, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao could still sense it. It was obvious that there were planar lords fighting, and one of them was using a lightning-type secret art. Lu Yiping's eye of lightning punishment appeared between his brows. Through his eye of lightning punishment, he saw an old man being chased by 3 people somewhere in the south of the thunder volcano. Jade-faced Wolf Lord and Lu Yiping had described Che Guohua's appearance, and there was no doubt that the old man was Che Guohua. Your master is being chased by others, he is now at the south of the thunder volcano. Lu Yiping said to Du Dalai. What? Du Dalai exclaimed in shock. Let's go over there now. Lu Yiping immediately led Jade-faced Wolf Lord and Du Dalai away through space. Jade-faced Wolf Lord and Du Dalai felt the scenery in front of them change. When they came to a stop, they were already miles away from the wooden house. Then, the two of them saw Che Guohua being chased in front of them. Che Guohua was fleeing in their direction when he suddenly saw 4 people in front of him. He jumped in fright, but when he saw Du Dalai and Jade-faced Wolf Lord, he was pleasantly surprised. Master Jun. He increased his speed and ran toward Jade-faced Wolf Lord. Soon, Che Guohua arrived before Lu Yiping and the others. Jade-faced Wolf Lord frowned when he saw the 3 people chasing after Che Guohua. They were obviously from the divine nation of the Forbidden Lands. How did Che Guohua offend the divine nation of the Forbidden Lands? In the Divine Land, the hell-suppressing divine nation was the strongest of the 10 superpowers, while the divine nation of the Forbidden Lands was ranked 3rd. Although the divine nation of the Forbidden Lands was ranked 3rd, the divine nation of the Forbidden Lands had always been a mysterious force. Usually, the divine nation of the Forbidden Lands was in a state of lockdown, preventing outsiders from entering. Even the hell-suppressing divine nation of the Forbidden Lands was wary of them. The 3 people were experts from the divine nation of the Forbidden Lands. Like Che Guohua, they were all early-stage plain lords. The 3 of them were dressed in loose dark purple robes with a specially made cloak that covered most of their faces. This was the standard attire of the Forbidden Lands. Almost all of the experts of the Forbidden Lands were dressed in this manner. The sudden appearance of Lu Yiping and the others surprised the 3 of them. Hand over the thing. One of them looked at Che Guohua and said coldly. Che Guohua did not reply. Jade-faced Wolf Lord's curiosity was piqued. What did Che Guohua have that made the 3 experts of the Forbidden Lands pursue him so relentlessly? Another expert from the Forbidden Lands snorted, "What's the point of talking nonsense with him? Just attack." Then, he added, "Whoever dares to stop us will die." His palm struck out at Che Guohua as soon as the words left his mouth. Amidst the palm force, there was a purple glow. Upon closer inspection, this purple glow was formed from mysterious runes, exuding a sorrowful energy. This was the Forbidden Land's ultimate technique, the purple symbol Heaven's Sorrow Palm. Jade-faced Wolf Lord's palm met the attack head-on. A loud boom resounded. This Forbidden Lands expert was only an early-stage plain lord. How could he be Jade-faced Wolf Lord's opponent? In an instant, the Forbidden Lands expert staggered back. When he finally stopped several li away, blood spurted out from his mouth. The other 2 experts were shocked. One of them looked at Jade-faced Wolf Lord's icy jade-like palm and exclaimed, "This is the Ice Jade Divine Art, you're from the Jade Fan Gate." Chapter 202. Jade-faced Wolf Lord frowned when he saw the group of experts flying over. One of them had a strong aura that was no weaker than his own. What exactly did Che Guohua have that the Divine Kingdom would send so many experts over? Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were also surprised. When the 3 of them saw the newcomers, they hurried over to greet them. "Lord Ruler." The 3 of them greeted the tall middle-aged man leading the group. The middle-aged man was none other than the Divine Kingdom's ruler. He was also the expert whose aura was no weaker than Jade-faced Wolf Lord. "What's going on?" The other party's gaze swept over Lu Yiping's group and asked. It's the Jade Fan Gate. One of them quickly answered. The Divine Kingdom's ruler Guo Chao exclaimed in surprise, Jade Fan Gate. His gaze landed on Jade-Faced Wolf Lord and he asked, You are? Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord did not hide his identity. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. The faces of the experts from the Divine Kingdom tightened. The Divine Kingdom's ruler Guo Chao looked at Jade-Faced Wolf Lord with a solemn expression and said, So your fellow Taoist Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. He then cupped his fists and said, Please don't interfere in this matter. Our Divine Kingdom will be eternally grateful. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord was surprised to see the Divine Kingdom's ruler Guo Chao lowering his stance. It seemed like Che Guohua's treasure was more important to the Divine Kingdom than he had expected. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord shook his head, Che Guohua is an old acquaintance of mine. I can't ignore this matter. Guo Chao's face sank. Suddenly, a cold voice came from the horizon, Since that's the case, kill all 5 of them and retrieve the treasure for me. Yes, Lord. Guo Chaoqing replied respectfully when he heard Huang Xiaolong's voice. As soon as he finished speaking, Huang Xiaolong sent a palm strike at Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. At the same time, he shouted to the other experts of the Divine Kingdom, Kill Che Guohua and the other 3. Guo Chao also used the Purple Talisman Heavenly Sorrow Palm. However, the Purple Talisman Heavenly Sorrow Palm was powered by his peak late-stage Plain Lord strength. The number of Purple Talisman rays increased to several hundred. The Purple Talisman Divine Kingdom's Purple Talisman shone even more brightly. Wherever the palm force passed, there was a faint whimpering sound that shook one's soul. Guo Chao's Purple Talisman Heaven Sorrow Palm was undoubtedly more than 100 times stronger than that Divine Nation expert's. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord did not dare to be careless. He pushed the Ice Jade Divine skill to the limit and went up to meet the attack. At this time, the other experts of the Forbidden Land also attacked Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, Che Guohua, and Du Dalai. Just as Che Guohua and Du Dalai were about to make their move, they saw the experts from the Forbidden Land stop abruptly. Then, without any warning, their bodies shattered one after another. That's right, it shattered like glass. His head, neck, torso, and 4 limbs all burst apart inch by inch. Blood floated in the air, but surprisingly, it didn't splash onto the ground. Seeing this miraculous scene, not only Du Dalai, but even Che Guohua was stunned. Guo Chao, who was fighting with Jade-Faced Wolf Lord, was also stunned. Huh? In the distant horizon, the voice that had previously ordered Guo Chao to kill Lu Yiping and the other 4 exclaimed in surprise, Absolute stillness. Absolute stillness was different from space-time stagnation. Who are you? His voice was solemn. Lu Yiping suddenly reached out with one hand, and a giant golden hand appeared. The giant golden hand tore through space, piercing deep into the distant horizon. A furious voice rang out, followed by a deafening explosion. Subsequently, Che Guohua, Du Dalai, and the others saw a black-robed man wearing a ghost mask being pulled out by the giant golden hand. In the blink of an eye, the black-robed man was brought before them. Lord! Guo Chao looked at the black-robed man with disbelief. At the same time, he looked at Lu Yiping with fear in his eyes. The black-robed man's strength was unfathomable. Even their Forbidden Land's great ancestor was no match for his palm strike. But now, this black-robed man was pulled out by this blue-robed young man without any resistance. Guo Chao even forgot that he was fighting with Jade-Faced Wolf Lord. In his distraction, Jade-Faced Wolf Lord's palm landed on his chest. The black-robed man looked at Lu Yiping with the same fear in his eyes. You're the Saint Devil Master, Lord Lu Yiping. Ignoring his injuries, Guo Chao looked at Lu Yiping with a trembling voice. Lu Yiping did not answer. Instead, he looked at the black-robed man with indifferent eyes. His hand clenched in the air, and the ghost mask on the black-robed man's face shattered, revealing a middle-aged man's face. Similar to Ziyin, who Huang Xiaolong had met in the Tai Hua Buddhist sect, this middle-aged man had a strange purple mark at the corner of his eyes. Purple Extreme Devil Tribe. Lu Yiping's voice was cold. Everyone present could hear the thick killing intent in Lu Yiping's voice. You're Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping, since you know about our Purple Extreme Devil Tribe, you should know that our Purple Extreme Devil Tribe was the strongest ancient devil tribe. The middle-aged man suppressed the fear in his heart and said solemnly. The strongest ancient devil tribe? Lu Yiping snorted. Wasn't the strongest ancient devil tribe the Eternal Tribe? The middle-aged man was stunned. Not only do I know about your Purple Extreme Devil Tribe, but I also know that your Purple Extreme Devil Tribe has submitted to the Yinyang Bora race. Lu Yiping said coldly. Yinyang Bora race? Guo Chao, Jade-Faced Wolf Lord, and the others had no impression of the Yinyang Bora race. However, Jade-Faced Wolf Lord and Che Guohua were shocked and they heard that the middle-aged man in front of them was an expert from the Purple Extreme Devil Tribe. The middle-aged man looked at Lu Yiping in shock, as if he did not expect Lu Yiping to know about the Yinyang Bora race. Since the ancient times, the Yinyang Bora race's experts had not set foot in this star field, so how did this Saint Devil Master know about them? That's right, our Purple Extreme Devil Tribe has submitted to the Yinyang Bora race and is now working for the Yinyang Bora race. The middle-aged man said solemnly, Lu Yiping, there's no harm in telling you. Many powerful ancient races and sects have submitted to the Yinyang Bora race. The Yinyang Bora race's strength is not something you can imagine. I know you're not weak, but your strength is no different from an ant to the Yinyang Bora race's experts. Not to mention the Yinyang Bora race, even our Purple Extreme Devil Tribe can easily crush you to death. Is that so? Lu Yiping clenched his fist, and the middle-aged man's body exploded bit by bit. Like a tomato, the middle-aged man's body exploded bit by bit, and blood splattered out from his body. The middle-aged man could clearly feel his body being crushed bit by bit, and the inhuman pain made him scream in agony. Guo Chao's face paled at the sight. Just as Guo Chao was about to flee, Taurus Longjiao grabbed him from the void. Taurus Longjiao squeezed Guo Chao's body, crushing Guo Chao into pieces. When Guo Chao was crushed, the Purple Extreme Devil Tribe's expert also exploded, followed by his godhead and soul. Even though Jade-Faced Wolf Lord and Che Guohua knew Lu Yiping wouldn't do such a thing to them, their faces paled. They didn't know why Lu Yiping hated the Purple Extreme Devil Tribe so much, but this method was a little too bloody and cruel. After crushing the Purple Extreme Devil Tribe's middle-aged man to death, Lu Yiping's gaze fell on Che Guohua, and he asked, why did the Divine Nation's people want to kill you? Chapter 203. Upon hearing Lu Yiping's question, Che Guohua snapped out of his daze and hurriedly answered, I originally wanted to enter the Forbidden Land to look for a pill refinement ingredient, but I found this instead. He stretched out his hand and a black object appeared in his palm. This black object was the size of 2 thumbs and was square in shape. It looked like a black gemstone, but it did not have any luster. Moreover, it had an astonishing devouring power that seemed to devour the surrounding light, causing the surroundings to darken significantly. Lu Yiping stretched out his hand and the black object flew into Lu Yiping's hand. Lu Yiping looked at the black object in bewilderment. Taurus Longjiao also looked at the black object in bewilderment and said, what kind of demonic creature is this? Its demonic nature is so strong. Both he and Lu Yiping could see that this demonic creature had yet to mature. If it already had such demonic nature before it matured, it would be even more terrifying once it matured. Che Guohua also said, when I obtained this object, I almost turned demonic. Fortunately, I had a Buddhist treasure on me that allowed me to regain my senses. His face was filled with lingering fear. This object was cultivated by the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe? Taurus Longjiao asked solemnly. The Forbidden Land could not cultivate such a demonic creature. In fact, they wanted to kill me not only for this demonic creature. Che Guohua continued, I discovered that there is a secret prison behind the Forbidden Land's divine capital. There are many Jotian, netherworld prison, and even divine earth experts imprisoned inside. Moreover, they are all experts at the level of a plain lord. Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and Jade-Faced Wolf Lord were all surprised. Back then, 2 of my Purple Lightning Palace's ancestors were imprisoned inside. Che Guohua said. Hearing this, Lu Yiping asked, is Huang Yuandong imprisoned inside? Che Guohua was stunned, then nodded, yes, Huang Yuandong and another ancestor of my Purple Lightning Palace are imprisoned inside. However, I am too weak to save them. Lu Yiping was overjoyed. He finally found Huang Yuandong's whereabouts. It turned out that Huang Yuandong had been imprisoned in this forbidden land. No wonder there had been no news of his descendants for so many years. Take us there now, Lu Yiping said. Now, he couldn't wait to find out how Huang Yuandong had obtained the good fortune jade disc. Without further ado, Che Guohua led Lu Yiping and the others to the secret prison located at the back mountain of the divine capital. The Forbidden Lands were adjacent to the snow-listening divine nation. Soon, they entered the Forbidden Lands. The Forbidden Lands were normally sealed off, and there were millions of soldiers stationed at the borders. However, Lu Yiping and the others didn't bother concealing their auras. When they encountered an army, they immediately attacked. When Taurus Longjiao saw that the Jade-Faced Wolf Lord and Che Guohua were fighting in a refined manner, he immediately took out the Kuanpeng and turned it back to half the size of the Kuanpeng Divine Sex Mountain Gate. The black army in front of them was swept clean in an instant. The sky was clear. Light reappeared. The Jade-Faced Wolf Lord and Che Guohua stared at the Kuanpeng that was as big as many mountains in Taurus Longjiao's hand. Du Dalai was stunned. This was the first time they had seen such a huge fish. After sweeping clean the army of millions, Lu Yiping and the others encountered fewer obstacles. Along the way, whenever they encountered experts from the Forbidden Lands, Taurus Longjiao would wave the little fish in his hand. The Jade-Faced Wolf Lord looked at the Kuanpeng with a trace of pity. However, the Kuanpeng's vitality wasn't just for show. If it were him, he would have been dead by now. After killing countless experts, Lu Yiping and the others finally arrived at the God's capital of the God's Kingdom. Since the Forbidden Lands had pledged allegiance to the Purple Demon race, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao didn't show any mercy to the Forbidden Lands experts. Looking at the divine capital in front of them, the cauldron of heaven and earth appeared in Lu Yiping's hand. With Lu Yiping's power, the Khanate Supreme Treasure Cauldron of heaven and earth emitted layers of light. It expanded continuously until it was bigger than the divine capital in front of them. Then, Lu Yiping swung the cauldron downwards. Boom! The cauldron of heaven and earth covered the divine capital with the force of Mount Tai. It was unknown how many li of the ground began to crack and sink. All the buildings in the divine capital were reduced to dust. As for the guards in the divine capital, they sank into the ground along with the ground. Blood spurted out, but it was drowned out by the rolling sand in the blink of an eye. The divine capital was originally covered with layers of formations, but with the swing of the cauldron, all of them scattered with the wind like paper. Jade-Faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and Du Dalai were speechless. The Forbidden Lands were the divine capital's third strongest super-divine nation. There were countless guards stationed in the divine capital, and there were even more plain lords in the imperial city. But with the swing of the cauldron, all the experts in the divine capital were annihilated. Not a single one managed to escape. They were all dead. Was this the power of the Saint Devil Master, the ancestor of lightning punishment, Lu Yiping? Lu Yiping retrieved the cauldron of heaven and earth. He looked at the flat ground in front of him and said, "Flat ground is more pleasing to the eye." Just now, the walls of the divine capital were hundreds of feet tall. Dark energy swirled around them as they stretched across the ground, blocking off many beautiful sceneries. Lu Yiping's gaze fell on the mountain range in the distance. "That's the divine capital's back mountain?" Che Guohua hurriedly answered, "Yes, that prison is under the back mountain." Just as Jade-Faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and the others were about to go over, Lu Yiping spoke, "No need. A bright light burst out from Huang Xiaolong's body as he punched out. In an instant, a giant golden fist imprint broke through space. This giant golden fist imprint was as big as a city. The golden light nearly blinded Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and the others. Rumble. The giant golden fist imprint slammed into the divine capital's back mountain. The boundless mountain range was split open by the giant golden fist imprint. Mountain peaks crumbled one after another, splashing everywhere. The fist imprint was unstoppable. They pushed forward, smashed forward, and flattened everything in their path. Countless rocks flew into the sky, filling the sky. From afar, it looked like a violent meteor shower. Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and the others were dumbfounded. The three of them stared at the blue-robed figure in front of them. Was he still human? No, was he still a god? Did a god have such majestic strength? One fist to topple a mountain, only I, Lu Yiping. As the golden fist imprint continued to flatten the mountain range in front of them, mountain peaks flew up, revealing a giant underground prison. The underground prison was even bigger than the god's capital. There were huge iron cages hanging from the ceiling, and inside the cages were imprisoned experts. These experts were all realm lords, and there were at least 100,000 of them. Just now, the golden fist print flattened the mountain range and killed many of the Forbidden Lands experts guarding the prison. However, there were still some who weren't hit. At this moment, they looked at the flattened mountain range and the empty space above them. They were dumbfounded. Chapter 204. The planar rulers imprisoned in the iron cages were all stunned. Everyone was stunned as they stared at the blue-robed figure walking towards them from afar. That figure was incomparably handsome, with an unparalleled temperament, and a pair of deep eyes that captivated others, yet resembled an ancient demon god. Lu Yiping stood with his hands clasped behind his back. His robes fluttered in the wind. He didn't have the slightest bit of strength, but his boundless aura towered above the heavens. It was as if all gods, Buddhas, immortals, ghosts, demons, and even sages were beneath his feet. Lu Yiping was the heavens, the ancestor of gods, and the king of sages. Between heaven and earth, no one spoke. Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and the others were also speechless. Who are you? After a long time, the prison guard's leader spoke in a trembling voice. His eyes were filled with fear. Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's indifferent voice sounded. The experts who were guarding the prison were shocked. You're the holy demon's master. The prison guard's voice trembled. Those imprisoned in the prison had been imprisoned for many years. Thus, they were unaware of the destruction of the Kunpeng divine sect and demon dragon palace. However, many of them were experts from the holy demon era. Hearing that the blue-robed young man before them was the holy demon's master, they were shocked. The holy demon was a peerless expert who had been invincible for 3 eras. He had reigned supreme for 3 eras. The blue-robed young man before them was the Lord Holy Demon's master. In the holy demon era, the holy demon was a supreme existence. Lu Yiping looked at the prison guard's leader and said indifferently, everyone knows that I'm the holy demon's master, but they don't know that I'm the ancient era's venerable. The experts present felt as if 1,000,000 bolts of lightning were exploding in their minds. Even Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and Du Dalai felt their minds exploding. Jade-faced Wolf Lord and Che Guohua stared at Lu Yiping in shock. Ancient era's venerable. Jade-faced Wolf Lord's mouth twitched continuously. The ancient era's venerable, the most terrifying existence in the myriad god era. The ancient era sovereign was not one of the top 10 experts of myriad god, but he was above them. Legend had it that 6 of the top 10 experts of the Pantheon era had received his guidance. Even the master of myriad gods had received his guidance. Legend had it that the ancient era venerable was omnipotent. His skills in the 4 arts, alchemy, formations, and medicine had all reached an inconceivable level. Legend has it that the primordial era sovereign was an ancient almighty being. Some even said that the primordial epoch sovereign was an undying old monster from the primordial era. Some of the experts imprisoned in the prison were old antiques from the heaven-battling era or even before that. Therefore, some of them didn't know who the saint demon was, but they knew about the ancient era sovereign. Hearing that the man in front of them was an ancient era sovereign, they were all shocked. If Lu Yiping had said that he was the ancient era sovereign at any other time, people would have doubted him or even spat out bubbles. But just now, Lu Yiping had flattened a myriad of mountains with a single punch. The power he displayed was too unimaginable, so no one dared to doubt him. Amidst the silence, an expert imprisoned in the prison immediately knelt down emotionally and said, "I am an expert under the Lord Saint Demon. I beg the Lord of the era sovereign to save me. I am willing to sacrifice my life for the Lord." Immediately, another silver-haired old man imprisoned in the prison also knelt down, "I am He Xia from the ancient era. I beg the Lord to save me. I am willing to follow by the Lord's side. I am willing to be at the Lord's beck and call." When everyone heard that the silver-haired old man was He Xia from the heaven-battling era, they were all shocked. This was a terrifying devil with monstrous might from the nether prison. He was actually imprisoned here. While the other imprisoned experts were shocked by He Xia's ferocious name, they also knelt down and begged Lu Yiping to save them. Some of them had been imprisoned here for tens of thousands of years, or even hundreds of thousands of years. In here, there was no daylight, and life was worse than death. The divine nation's experts guarding the prison looked at the kneeling experts with an ugly expression. However, none of these experts dared to reprimand them. At this time, two wheel-shaped black and white blades appeared in Lu Yiping's hands. The black and white blades surged with black and white light, as if there were countless black and white suns floating within. "The wheel of life and death," some people exclaimed. "One of the ancient era sovereign's weapons." The wheel of life and death ruled over life and death. Legend had it that when the ancient era sovereign took out the wheel of life and death, the sky was black and the ground was white. Between the black and white, blood flowed like a river. And those whose lives were cut off by the wheel of life and death would fall for eternity, unable to enter the cycle of reincarnation. When everyone saw the wheel of life and death, they no longer dared to doubt Lu Yiping's identity as the ancient era sovereign. Many of the imprisoned experts who had not knelt down yet all knelt down. The experts guarding the prison were so frightened that their faces turned pale. All of them knelt down. "Lord Sovereign, please spare our lives. We are willing to submit to the Lord." The experts of the Forbidden Lands kept kowtowing and begging for mercy. Some were even scared to tears. Lu Yiping's eyes were cold. "Spare your lives. Since you know that I'm the ancient era sovereign, you should know that I hate the Borer race the most. And all of you have submitted to the extreme purple demon race and the Borer race." The experts of the Forbidden Lands trembled. Then, everyone saw the wheel of life and death in Lu Yiping's hands flying out. When the wheel of life and death flew out, the black wheel was above the white wheel. The sky turned black and the ground white. When the sky turned black and white, the experts of the Forbidden Lands saw their bodies being cut into two. Their upper bodies turned black and their lower bodies turned white. Blood flowed out. Between the black and white world, a river of blood flowed. When the experts of the Forbidden Lands fell to the ground, their last thought was that the legend was true. One by one, the experts of the Forbidden Lands fell to the ground like paddy fields blown by strong winds. In the end, tens of thousands of experts of the Forbidden Lands fell into the river of blood. The wheel of life and death was still spinning, the black and white light continued to shine. Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and the imprisoned experts were shocked and they saw the river of blood flowing between the black and white world. The black and white light extended to the end of the world. The wheel of life and death returned to Lu Yiping's hands. With the wheel of life and death in his hands, Lu Yiping stood high in the sky like the supreme ruler of heaven and earth. The wheel of life and death was still black and white. There was no trace of blood, no aura, but it was enough to send chills down one's spine. Lu Yiping's gaze was indifferent as he looked at the experts imprisoned in the cages. Some of these experts were from the Jotian, some from the Netherworld prison, some from the Divine Lands, and some from the surrounding plains. But now, all of them lowered their heads, not daring to look at Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping took a step forward and walked towards the cages. The wheel of life and death was already back at some point. When Lu Yiping passed by each of the cages, the experts in the cages all trembled. Lu Yiping was like an emperor patrolling the world. Awesome! From this moment onwards, Lu Yiping is finally going to reveal his true strength. Chapter 205. Taurus Longjiao followed closely behind Lu Yiping. Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and the other two did not dare to follow behind Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's gaze swept across the cage, asking, "Which one of you is Violet Lightning Temple's Huang Yuandong?" Hearing Huang Yuandong's question, Huang Yuandong's heart skipped a beat. He quickly answered loudly, "Lord Venerable One, this lowly one is Huang Yuandong." Lu Yiping's gaze fell on a cage in the distance. Huang Yuandong had a head of white hair and was thin and thin. Just like the others, he was wearing a white prison uniform. Lu Yiping took a step forward, arriving in front of Huang Yuandong's cage. The cage was made of extremely sturdy materials. Even if a peak late-stage lord of a world of existences attacked it with full force, it wouldn't budge. However, Lu Yiping only needed to swipe his hand across the cage, and it shattered into pieces. Huang Yuandong was dumbfounded. At this time, Lu Yiping took out the second Fortune Jade disc. Huang Yuandong stared at the Fortune Jade disc in Lu Yiping's hand, astonished. World-cleansing jade. Lu Yiping asked, "Do you remember where you got this world-cleansing jade?" Huang Yuandong quickly answered, replying to Lord, "I found this world-cleansing jade in the Cave of the Fallen Gods." "Oh, the Cave of the Fallen Gods." Lu Yiping was surprised. He knew about the Cave of the Fallen Gods. It was located in the far west of the Divine Lands. Lu Yiping looked at the white-haired, skinny, and tortured Huang Yuandong. A jade-green divine tree appeared in his hand. It was the divine tree of life nurtured by the spring of life. The divine tree of life flew up and hovered above Huang Yuandong. Life energy poured into Huang Yuandong's body. Huang Yuandong felt the vitality in his body recovering at an astonishing rate. His blood essence that was almost depleted started to replenish, and even his skin became lustrous and rosy. Soon, Huang Yuandong returned to his peak condition, even surpassing his peak condition. "Many thanks, Lord." Huang Yuandong said gratefully. "Lord, please save me, I'm willing to serve Lord. I'm willing to serve Lord tea and water." The other overlords begged Huang Yuandong. There were even people who shouted, "I'm willing to undress you, sir." Upon hearing the other parties shout, Lu Yiping's Dao heart almost became unstable. The 100,000 experts immediately looked at the old man who was about to undress. If their gazes could kill, the old man would have been riddled with holes. Just as Lu Yiping was about to open the cage, Taurus Longjiao said to Lu Yiping, "Master, let me do it." Lu Yiping nodded. Immediately, streams of astonishing golden energy surged out from Taurus Longjiao's body. Next, the golden energy around Taurus Longjiao's body trembled, and the iron cages holding the 100,000 experts were all shattered into pieces. He Xia and the other experts looked at Taurus Longjiao in shock. Could this be the legendary Qi of the Eighth Ox? Everyone looked at Taurus Longjiao with fear in their eyes. Taurus Longjiao's move had exceeded their imaginations. One had to know that they had been imprisoned in the iron cages for many years without being able to break open the cage. However, Taurus Longjiao's Qi of the Eighth Ox shattered all the iron cages. What kind of boundless power was this? What kind of powerful Qi of the Eighth Ox? After Taurus Longjiao shattered the iron cages, the tree of life in Lu Yiping's hand flew high into the sky. It suddenly expanded into a 10,000 zhang tall tree. Then, a dark green light surged from its body. Life energy poured down like a waterfall and rushed into He Xia and the others' bodies. He Xia and the others soon experienced the same pleasure as Huang Yuandong. That kind of undying pleasure gave them the urge to go all out and fight. After everyone recovered to their peak condition, Lu Yiping retrieved the divine tree of life. The divine tree of life returned to Lu Yiping's palm and disappeared. Everyone came back to their senses and exchanged a glance. Then, they all came before Lu Yiping and knelt down respectfully. They shouted in unison, "We greet the Lord." Their voices shook heaven and earth. The sound waves shook the divine nation's experts' corpses. Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and He Xia stared blankly at the sea of people kneeling in front of them. Oh my God, these are the lords of 100,000 existences. Moreover, many of them were late-stage or even peak late-stage lords of existences. Not to mention a terrifying devil like He Xia. They were even more ancient than He Xia. Now, all of them had submitted to Lu Yiping, willing to serve Lu Yiping. Jade-faced Wolf Lord could see that these people were absolutely loyal to Lu Yiping. Take He Xia for example. Although he was a terrifying devil from the heaven battling era, he was a man of his word. Since he said he was willing to serve Lu Yiping, then he was a man of his word. In the future, he would definitely be willing to lead Lu Yiping's horse. These people had been captured by the Purple Extreme Devil Tribe and the Divine Nation's experts and imprisoned here for many years. They had used all kinds of methods to torture them, but none of them had been able to make them submit. But now, they were willing to serve Lu Yiping, willing to sacrifice their lives for him. Then again, Jade-faced Wolf Lord also knew that in this world, only the ancient era venerables had such power. Otherwise, no one would be able to subdue a devil like He Xia. Of course, this wasn't only because Lu Yiping had displayed his majestic strength, but also because Lu Yiping had rescued them from the Hell's prison. Lu Yiping had everyone stand up. Seeing that they were still wearing the Divine Nation's prison uniforms, he waved his hand and dark golden divine armors fell like rain in front of them. Everyone was dumbfounded. The dark golden divine armors in front of them were all acquired spiritual treasures. A low-grade acquired spiritual treasure was a low-grade one at the Lord of Life stage, a mid-grade one at the Lord of Life stage, a high-grade one at the Lord of Life stage, and a peak late-grade one at the Lord of Life stage like He Xia. Every piece of divine armor was covered with a silver dragon. The silver dragon's dragon might permeated the air, and a dragon's might that could surpass heaven and earth struck everyone's soul. Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Che Guohua, and Huang Xiaolong felt their mouths go dry. The ancient era venerables were indeed worthy of being called the ancient era venerables. In one move, he brought out 100,000 sets of acquired spiritual treasure divine armors, and many of them were high-grade and even top-grade. Even the Divine Land and Jyotian's super forces would find it hard to take out a single acquired spiritual treasure. Lu Yiping saw He Xia and the others standing there in a daze, and he laughed, "Do you all want to keep wearing the prison uniforms? Put them on." He Xia and the others came to their senses. After thanking Lu Yiping, they took off their prison uniforms and put on the acquired spiritual treasure silver dragon divine armors. When He Xia and the others were wearing prison uniforms, they didn't exude any aura. Now that they had put on the acquired spiritual treasure silver dragon divine armors, their aura soared to the sky. Just the silver dragon engraved on the divine armors was enough to shake people's souls. Now, all peak late stage Lord of Life stage, step out. Lu Yiping said. Although He Xia and the others were confused, they still stepped out. There were a total of 100 of them. While everyone was still puzzled, Lu Yiping's hand glowed brightly, and the number of planar laws increased. With a wave of Lu Yiping's hand, these planar laws turned into a torrent that surged into He Xia and the others' bodies. Chapter 206. After the dimension laws entered He Xia and the rest's bodies, they merged with the dimension energy in their bodies. He Xia and the rest's aura started to rise. When it reached a certain limit, a strange sound came from He Xia and the rest's bodies. It was the sound of a butterfly breaking out of its cocoon. Light surged from He Xia and the rest's bodies, and a shocking aura swept out. Dimension Master. Jade-faced Wolf Lord felt the changes in He Xia and the rest's aura, and his face was filled with disbelief. He had never heard of anyone who could help others break through to the Dimension Master realm. Moreover, Lu Yiping helped 100 people break through to the Dimension Master realm at the same time. What was this? Was he a creation god? He could do it as he wished. Not to mention Jade-faced Wolf Lord, Huang Yuandong, and the rest, even He Xia and the rest were in disbelief when they felt the changes in their bodies. They had been stuck at the peak late-stage Dimension Master realm for many years, and they knew how difficult it was to break through to the Dimension Master realm. However, Lu Yiping helped all of them break through to the Dimension Master realm in a short period of time. Now, their entire bodies, whether it was their physical bodies or their souls, were transforming. During the transformation, the Dimension Master realm energy roared crazily in their bodies. After a long time, He Xia and the rest's aura finally stopped and stabilized. We thank Lord. He Xia and the rest knelt down and kowtowed excitedly. Lu Yiping's expression was calm as he asked He Xia and the rest to stand up. Subsequently, Lu Yiping and the rest left the place. Lu Yiping and the rest walked in front, while He Xia and the rest of the 100,000 Dimension Masters followed behind. Under the sunlight, the silver dragons on He Xia and the rest's divine armors seemed to have come alive. After leaving, they passed by some Forbidden Lands cities. When they encountered the Forbidden Lands armies, He Xia and the rest didn't hold back and directly used them as practice. How could these Forbidden Lands armies be a match for He Xia and the rest? They were tortured to death. He Xia and the rest had been imprisoned by the Forbidden Lands divine kingdoms and the purple extreme demon race for many years. Now that they encountered these Forbidden Lands armies, they were tortured to death. However, He Xia and the rest only attacked one person. Although they were strong, their attacks were limited. Therefore, Lu Yiping taught them the Great Void Lightning Formation and Soaring Dragon Formation. These two formations could be used by more than 10 people. The more people there were, the more powerful they would be. Once the Great Void Thunder Killing Formation and the Soaring Dragon Formation were used by the 100,000 men of the Black Demon tribe, they could encircle and kill dozens of experts of the same level. When He Xia's 100,000 men formed the Great Void Lightning Killing Formation, the sky was filled with lightning, forming a sea of lightning. Amidst the sea of lightning, the army of the Divine Kingdom in the Forbidden Lands fell like rain. Lu Yiping and the others flew towards the cave of the fallen gods. Since Jade-faced Wolf Lord and Che Guohua's matters were settled, the three of them bid farewell to Lu Yiping and returned to the Thunder Swarm Mountain. However, it was really inconvenient for him to have 100,000 plain monarchs following him around. Thus, Lu Yiping took out his primordial divine artifact, the Everlasting Star Palace, and kept the 100,000 plain monarchs inside. The Wuji Star Palace could gather the power of the 9 heaven stars. Every corner of the palace was filled with the power of the Xiantian stars. Cultivating in the palace could not only strengthen one's physical body, but also greatly increase one's cultivation speed. Of course, while the 100,000 plain monarchs cultivated inside the Everlasting Star Palace, they could also help him refine the Everlasting Star Palace and transform it. Now, his Everlasting Star Palace was just a step away from transforming into a supreme grade innate supreme treasure. The Universe Cauldron was already a supreme grade innate supreme treasure. After keeping everyone in the Everlasting Star Palace, Lu Yiping only had He Xia, Ba Dao, Long Gu, and Qiyu with him. Just like Taurus Longjiao had said, if there were any errands to run, He Xia and the others could do it for him. Since they were looking for the Fortune Jade Disc, other than He Xia and the others, Huang Yuandong was also leading the way. Lord, the West Oblast City is just ahead. Huang Yuandong pointed at the city ahead. The West Oblast City was the westernmost city of the Divine Land. Beyond the West Oblast City was the Cave of the Fallen Gods. Lu Yiping and the others walked into the city. The city was bustling with people. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of experts have appeared in the West Oblast city recently. I heard that a large group of people from the hell-suppressing divine nation entered the cave of the fallen gods yesterday. Not only the hell-suppressing divine nation's experts, but even the 7 Spirit Fox tribe and Dragon King sex experts are here. The 9-star realm's 7 Spirit Fox tribe and Dragon King sect? That's right, it's the 9-star realm's 7 Spirit Fox tribe and Dragon King sect. And a realm master is here too. The hell-suppressing divine nation's ruler, Lord Duan Hong, was killed by a Saint Devil Master in the Eternal Demon Domain. Didn't the hell-suppressing divine nation seal their nation in fear? Not long after entering the West Oblast city, Lu Yiping and the others heard many disciples discussing the cave of the fallen gods. He Xia was surprised, the 7 Spirit Fox tribe and Dragon King sect? The 9-star realm was the closest realm to the Eternity Plane. Among the 17 realms of the Eternity Plane, the 9-star realm's strength ranked 3rd. The 7 Spirit Fox tribe and Dragon King sect were among the top 10 superpowers of the 9-star realm. Long Gu frowned when he heard that the Dragon King sex experts were also here. More than 100,000 years ago, he was the Dragon King sect's young sect master. He was supposed to inherit the Dragon King sect's sect master position, but he was framed and expelled from the Dragon King sect. It's Princess Yuan Shan of the Carefree Divine Nation. Suddenly, someone shouted. The crowd became restless. Lu Yiping and the others looked over and saw a fleet of carriages in front of them. In the middle of the fleet was a carriage pulled by phoenixes. Sitting in the carriage was a noble and somewhat arrogant beauty. The guards around her were all riding on unicorn beasts. In the Divine Lands, the Carefree Divine Nation was second only to the hell-suppressing Divine Nation and ranked higher than the Forbidden Lands Divine Nations. The Carefree Divine Nation's 4th princess, Yuan Shan, was famous and talented. It was rumored that she was the disciple of a god-ranking expert from the Void Plane. Although she was only a princess of the Carefree Divine Nation, her cultivation was no weaker than many of the Carefree Divine Nation's ancestors. Seeing the arrival of the Carefree Divine Nation's 4th princess Yuan Shan, the surrounding male disciples were excited. Princess Yuan Shan, are you here to enter the cave of the fallen gods? I'm afraid so. Did some treasure appear in the cave of the fallen gods? I haven't heard anything about it. As the crowd discussed, the Carefree Divine Nation's fleet left. Lord, should we inquire about what happened in the cave of the fallen gods? Taurus Longjiao asked. Lu Yiping shook his head. No need to pay attention to them. As long as they don't hinder our search, it's fine. Thus, Lu Yiping and the others didn't linger. They left the West Province city and headed towards the cave of the fallen gods. The entrance to the cave of the fallen gods wasn't big. It was located at the edge of a cliff at the top of the mountain. There seemed to be a mysterious energy around the entrance. When Lu Yiping entered the cave of the fallen gods, a fleet of carriages followed behind. It was none other than the Carefree Divine Nation's fleet. The Carefree Divine Nation's Princess Yuan Shan's gaze fell on Lu Yiping. One of the Carefree Divine Nation's experts beside Yuan Shan said to Lu Yiping and the others, Gentlemen, I advise you to return. The treasures in the cave of the fallen gods aren't something people like you can covet. Otherwise, you'll lose your lives in vain. Chapter 207. Seeing the other party, a mere world master, using a lecturing tone to persuade them and Lu Yiping, He Xia sneered, give up my life for nothing? Are you talking about a small shrimp like you? Princess Wu Yuan Shan frowned hearing this, you don't know what's good for you. The Carefree Divine Nation's expert looked at He Xia and laughed, you're talking about a small shrimp? Little guy, are you saying you're a giant? Speaking of this, the World Master surged and a claw reached out towards He Xia, who is the small shrimp and who is the giant, you'll know soon enough. A giant palm imprint descended towards He Xia. The surrounding air currents surged violently. Seeing the other party's palm imprint coming at him without any mercy, He Xia didn't even look at it. He simply slapped his palm out and a giant curse seal flew out. This giant curse seal exuded a boundless aura of darkness and wickedness. The darkness curse seal instantly pierced through the other party's palm imprint and slammed into the Carefree Divine Nations expert. The Carefree Divine Nations expert was blasted away like a withered leaf in the cave of the fallen gods. His speed was astonishing as he crashed into a piece of land on the horizon. The land trembled violently as sand and stones rolled. Princess Wu Yuan Shan and the Carefree Divine Nations experts were shocked. Hey Xie curse! Princess Wu Yuan Shan exclaimed, who are you to He Xie from 100,000 years ago? He Xie swept his gaze over the several hundred Carefree Divine Nations experts before fixing his gaze on Princess Wu Yuan Shan. Do you still want to make a move? One of the experts beside Princess Wu Yuan Shan suddenly took a step forward and arrived in front of He Xie. His speed was extremely fast as he punched out at He Xie. It's just a He Xie curse. Even if you were He Xie himself, I could still kill you. The World Master roared. Moreover, his World Master had already reached 99 million units. This person's strength was comparable to Chi Aoshi from Heaven Battling City. Such a character could break through to the World Master realm at any time. If He Xie hadn't broken through to the World Master realm, it would be difficult for him to win against this person. He Xie looked at his opponent's fist power and suddenly punched out with his own fist. This time, it was not the Black Heresy curse. When he punched out, the silver dragon on his silver dragon divine armor came to life and flew out with the force of his punch. Silver dragon shakes the sky. The power of the fist shook the heavens, and the silver dragon broke through the sky. With an unstoppable force, it instantly blasted through the opponent's fist and directly pierced through the opponent's chest. The silver dragon flew back into the black evil divine armor after it pierced through the opponent's chest. The Carefree Divine Kingdom's expert stiffened on the spot, looking at the huge hole in his chest in disbelief. In the next moment, cracks started to appear all over his body. Plain Master. Princess Carefree Yuan Shan and the experts from Carefree Divine Nation paled. This unassuming skinny old man was actually a plain master. Another worryless Divine Kingdom's expert stepped forward, wanting to save the expert who had attacked earlier. However, the cracks on his body widened in an instant, and his flesh and blood splattered everywhere. Third senior brother. That Carefree Divine Kingdom's expert cried out in grief. He glared at He Xie and Lu Yiping. He's my third senior brother. We're from the Void Plane, and our master is Fu Zangsheng. Fu Zangsheng. He Xie, Ba Dao, Long Gu, and Qi Yu's faces paled, God-ranking expert. Fu Zangsheng was one of the God-ranking experts from the surrounding 17 planes. He was also one of the top 100 experts from the 17 planes. Princess Carefree Yuan Shan had taken him as her master, and she was Fu Zangsheng's youngest disciple. The one He Xie killed earlier was Fu Zangsheng's third disciple. That's right, my master is Fu Zangsheng, a God-ranking expert. That expert glared hatefully at He Xie and sneered, are you afraid? Are you regretting it? Let me tell you, my master is rushing over to the Divine Land. He'll be here in half a day. Just wait for your death. You'll find out what true fear is in this world. However, just as he finished speaking, the scenery in front of him changed. Taurus Longjiao pulled him in front of Huang Xiaolong. Taurus Longjiao squeezed the expert's neck. What Fu Zangsheng? What Niao Zangsheng? What Niao Zangsheng? Your Grandpa Niao is afraid. Even if the primordial heavenly emperor came, this Grandpa Niao's hair wouldn't tremble. With that said, Taurus Longjiao tightened his grip, and the expert exploded. Fu Zangsheng's fourth disciple, dead. Princess Carefree Yuan Shan and the group of Carefree Divine Countries experts paled. Who are you? Yuan Shan was shocked and furious as she glared at Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others. Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping answered calmly. Saint Devil's Master. Yuan Shan exclaimed in shock, but the group of carefree divine countries experts retreated in fear. Yuan Shan had been cultivating in the void world all year round, and she had only returned a few days ago. However, the carefree divine countries experts had heard of Lu Yiping's name. Lu Yiping said to Yuan Shan, "Wait for Fu Cangsheng to come. If he wants to kill me, he can wait for me here." He then turned to Taurus Longjiao and the others, "Let's go." Yuan Shan watched Lu Yiping's group leave with a gloomy expression. "I didn't expect that person to be the Saint Devil's master, Lu Yiping." One of the carefree divine country's ancestors said worriedly, "Your Highness, I think we should forget about this matter. Lu Yiping is too terrifying." Yuan Shan's face sank, glaring angrily at the carefree divine country's ancestor. "You're saying that we should forget about my third and fourth senior brother's deaths? But Lu Yiping, this person's strength is unrivaled." That carefree divine country's ancestor argued. But before he could finish his words, Yuan Shan slapped him across the face. Yuan Shan snorted coldly. He merely annihilated a small Kunpeng divine sect and demon dragon palace. Even my eldest senior brother can easily do that. My master is an expert on the God ranking list. The power of an expert on the God ranking list isn't something ants like you can imagine. Every existence on the God ranking list has the power to shake the heavens. My master is ranked 79th on the God ranking list. One punch from him is enough to annihilate 10 Kunpeng divine sects. Although the Saint Devil was invincible in the Eternal Prime Plane, he was only ranked 96th on the God ranking list. Yuan Shan's cold voice reverberated through the fallen god's cave, echoing far and wide. Fu Cangsheng's fourth disciple did not lie to Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others. At this time, Fu Cangsheng was crossing the galaxy, heading towards the Eternal Prime Plane. Outside the Eternal Prime Plane was the boundless galaxy. A streak of light pierced through the galaxy's terrifying storm at an alarming speed, closing in on the Eternal Prime Plane. Inside the streak of light was Fu Cangsheng, who looked to be in his 50s. He had a head full of black hair and a ruddy complexion. Fu Cangsheng, who was rushing towards the Eternal Prime Plane, suddenly stopped. He took out his communication talisman and glanced at it. His eyes widened, and his killing intent soared. "You killed my disciples. Even that brat Saint Devil didn't dare to provoke me in the past, yet you dare to kill my disciples." Energy surged from Fu Cangsheng's body, causing the surrounding galaxy's storm to roil. A short while later, Fu Cangsheng's streak of light shot towards the Eternal Prime Plane at an even faster speed. Chapter 208. On a certain continent in the cave of the fallen gods, the Seven Spirit Fox clan and the Dragon King sex experts were flying towards the depths of the continent. The Seven Spirit Fox clan's patriarch and the Dragon King sex sect master received the message talisman at almost the same time. The two of them took out their communication talismans and looked at it. Their expressions became strange. "Father, what's wrong?" Dragon King sect's young Lord Long Yu asked when he noticed Long Daming's strange expression. Long Meng said solemnly, "Just now, there was news from the message talisman. Lord Fu Cangsheng's third, fourth, and fifth disciples also came to Godfall Cave. However, just now, Lord Fu Cangsheng's third and fourth disciples were killed." "What?" Both the experts of the Dragon King sect and the Seven Spirit Foxes were shocked. Hu Zhua, the chief of the Seven Spirit Fox clan, said, "I just received a message from the message talisman. It's about this too." "Father, you mean Lord Fu Cangsheng of the Divine List?" Hu Mingcheng, the young master of the Seven Spirit Fox clan, asked in disbelief. Hu Zhua glanced at his son and nodded, "It's Lord Fu Cangsheng." It wasn't just his son who didn't believe it. Even he didn't believe it when he saw the message through the talisman. "Who is it? He actually dared to kill Lord Fu Cangsheng's disciple." Dragon King sect's young sect master Long Yu exclaimed in shock. "It's Lu Yiping, who's been rumored in the Hengyuan realm recently." Long Dameng, the sect master of the Dragon King sect, said. Both the Seven Spirits Fox clan and the Dragon King Zhongzhong were greatly surprised. This Lu Yiping is unrivaled in the Eternity Plane. Does he think that he is unrivaled? How dare he provoke Lord Fuzangsheng? The Seven Spirit Fox Patriarch, Hu Zhuo, shook his head and said, arrogant and ignorant. The Dragon King sect's young sect master, Long Yu, sneered, there are many frogs in the well like Lu Yiping. He thinks that the sky he sees is already the sky. The Seven Spirit Fox's young lord Hu Mingqing frowned, does that mean Lu Yiping is also in the cave of the fallen gods? The Dragon King sect's young sect master Long Yu laughed, merely annihilating the Kunpeng divine sect and the demonic dragon palace. Such small fries are nothing in the 17 planes. With my father's strength and Uncle Hu Zhuo's strength, destroying the Kunpeng divine sect and the demonic dragon palace is just a snap of their fingers. Dragon King sect's sect master Long Dameng changed the topic and said, ancient god Broken Dragon's secret trove is not far ahead. Then, he said to his son, Long Yu, you and a few uncles seal the surrounding space. No one is allowed to approach. Once you approach, kill without mercy. The patriarch of the Seven Spirit Foxes, Hu Zhuo, said to his son, Hu Mingqing, you and the other patriarchs will guard this place together. Long Yu, Hu Mingqing, and the others nodded. Therefore, Long Dameng and Hu Zhuo led the other experts of the Dragon King sect and the 7 spiritual foxes to continue flying forward. Not long after, Long Dameng and Hu Zhuo arrived in front of a huge rift valley. This rift valley was probably several hundred miles wide, and it was unknown how many miles long it was. It cut off the continent in front of it, and at the bottom of the rift valley, poisonous miasma was constantly emitted. Long Dameng looked at the bottomless chasm in front of him and exclaimed, could this chasm have been severed by ancient god Duanlong's blade? If that's true, then what kind of power is that? Hu Zhuo sighed, the power of an ancient god is not something we can imagine. There's a 99% chance that ancient god Duanlong was the one who severed this rift valley. However, this also shows the terrifying power of the dragon-breaking saber. Hu Zhuo looked at the bottom of the rift valley with a burning gaze. Immediately, the two of them broke through the poisonous miasma and descended to the bottom of the rift valley with the 7 spiritual foxes and Dragon King sex experts. The deeper they went, the stronger the poisonous miasma became. Finally, the 2 sex experts arrived at the bottom of the rift valley. At this time, Huang Yuandong was leading the way while Lu Yiping's group headed deeper into the Cave of the Fallen Gods. Although the Cave of the Fallen Gods was called a cave, it was vast and boundless, and it was extremely deep. The deeper they went, the darker it became, and the more broken space there was. Even the ruler of a plane would find it hard to come out from this broken space. Lu Yiping's group maintained a constant altitude as they flew forward. He Xia looked at the bottomless bottom of the Cave of the Fallen Gods and said, I heard that no one has ever reached the bottom of the Cave of the Fallen Gods. Long Gu chimed in, legend has it that a giant demonic abyss beast hides at the bottom of the Cave of the Fallen Gods. A giant demonic abyss beast. It was the world's largest ferocious beast. Legend had it that when the giant demonic abyss beast rose, it would be the darkest time of the world because it would block out all light. The giant demonic abyss beast was even bigger than the largest divine beast, the Kunpeng. Taurus Longjiao said, it's just a legend, it can't be taken seriously. How can this tiny cave of the fallen gods contain a giant demonic abyss beast? He Xia's group was dumbfounded. The cave of the fallen gods was vast and boundless, with countless continents and planets. Who knew how deep it was? How could it be considered small? However, had Taurus Longjiao seen a giant demonic abyss beast before? My lord, it's that continent in front of us. Huang Yuandong suddenly pointed at a continent in front of them and said to Lu Yiping, I found the world-cleansing jade in a rift valley in the depths of that continent. Soon, the group arrived above the continent. Suddenly, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao looked at the continent's depths. Their gazes met. There's something strange about this continent. Taurus Longjiao said. Strange? Long Gu and the others were puzzled. Huang Yuandong led Lu Yiping's group towards the eastern side of the continent. Just as Lu Yiping's group was flying towards the eastern side of the continent, a shocking fist force pierced through the air. The fist force rumbled, rolling up the sand and stones on the ground. From afar, it looked like a terrifying sandstorm was about to swallow Lu Yiping's group whole. Seeing this, Long Gu snorted coldly and punched out. Dragon Force roared as it met the incoming fist force head-on. With a loud bang, the sandstorm dispersed as Long Gu's fist force slammed into the void in front of them. A miserable scream sounded as a person was sent flying out from the void and crashed into the mountain range. What? Long Yu and the other experts of the Dragon King sect who were hiding in the void were shocked and came out from the void. The young patriarch of the 7 spiritual fox tribe, Hu Mingcheng, and the other experts also came out, looking at Long Gu in shock. A plain master. Long Yu looked at Long Gu in shock. Such pure dragon force, how do you know our Dragon King sect's almighty dragon slaughter fist? Who are you? The almighty dragon slaughter fist was their Dragon King sect's secret technique that only a small number of people could practice. At this time, the 7 spiritual fox Hu Mingcheng secretly crushed a communication talisman. Although Lu Yiping saw this, he did not stop him. Dragon King sect's Long Gu. Long Gu's cold gaze swept over Long Yu and the other experts. Long Yu and the Dragon King sect's experts were surprised. Long Yu sneered, so you're the traitor who colluded with outsiders and betrayed our Dragon King sect. A traitor actually has the face to call himself a member of the Dragon King sect. He looked at Long Gu from head to toe. You've lived quite a long life. Not only did you not die, you even broke through to the Plain Master realm. Chapter 209. Although Long Gu had broken through to the Plain Master realm, Long Yu calmed down when he recalled that there were 10 Plain Masters among the experts his father brought here. At this time, Long Dameng received the message talisman and exited the rift with Huzhua. In a flicker, they were back at their original spot. Father. Long Yu greeted Long Dameng when he saw him leading the Dragon King sect's experts over. Long Dameng's gaze swept over Lu Yiping, Long Gu, and the others with suspicion in his eyes. Huzhua and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts also looked suspiciously at Lu Yiping's group. Father, he's the traitor Long Gu who colluded with outsiders and betrayed the Dragon King sect. Long Yu pointed at Long Gu and said to Long Dameng, he's the one who injured ancestor Long Jin. Long Gu. Long Dameng was shocked as his gaze fell on Long Gu. That year, when Long Gu was expelled from the Dragon King sect, he was still a young man. Now that his appearance had changed greatly, Long Dameng couldn't recognize him. However, he knew the truth of what had happened back then. Looking at Long Gu, his eyes gradually darkened. He didn't expect Long Gu to still be alive. That year, he and his father had sent many people to hunt him down. Looking at Long Dameng's shocked expression, Long Gu sneered, Long Dameng, you didn't expect this, did you? Not only did I not die, but I even submitted to Lord and broke through to the Plain Master realm. Lord? Long Dameng glanced at Lu Yiping and smiled indifferent, so what if you've broken through to the Plain Master realm? I couldn't kill you back then, so you're going to die today. His gaze fell on Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others, and the rest of you, all of you will be buried with Long Gu. Long Dameng's aura was fully released as he said this. Shocking dragon chi swept across heaven and earth, blasting into outer space, stirring up the airflow above the falling dragon cave. The surrounding mountains shook, and the ground began to crack. Strands of world laws swept out along with Long Dameng's dragon chi, intertwining with each other like a vast sea, illuminating the mainland surroundings. Long Gu, He Xia, Ba Dao, Qiyu, and Huang Yuandong were shocked. Long Dameng's world laws had reached more than 1,000,000 strands. What kind of concept was 1,000,000 planar laws? The ruler of the Hell Suppression Godly Kingdom, Duan Hongkai, had cultivated 230,000 planar laws. The strongest person in the Nether Prison, Long Gang of the Devil Dragon Palace, only had 250,000 planar laws. With Long Daming's strength, even if Duan Hong, Long Gang, Meng Fuding, and Wang Haitao joined forces, they wouldn't be able to withstand a single blow from him. For every 10,000 more planar laws, one's battle prowess would increase by a notch. Long Daming had several 100,000 Dao essences more than Duan Hong, Wang Haitao, and the others. Just as Long Daming was about to make a move, the world rumbled as an invincible force came from the distant horizon. This invincible force was vast and mighty, like an enormous wave that could shake the world. It surged endlessly, causing the space in the cave of the fallen gods to tremble. Almost instantly, every expert in the cave of the fallen gods felt this invincible power. So strong! How can there be such a terrifying power in this world? Who is it? Which terrifying being has entered the cave of the fallen gods? Hu Zhua, the patriarch of the 7 spirit foxes, paled. Even Long Daming, who was about to make a move, stopped in his tracks. This terrifying power seems to be coming from the cave of the fallen gods' entrance. One of the Dragon King tribe's ancestors exclaimed. Then, the experts of the Dragon King sect and the 7 spirit fox clan sensed that this invincible force was rushing toward them at a terrifying speed. Long Daming, Hu Zhua, and the others were bewildered. The Dragon King sect and 7 spirit fox tribes' experts' senses were not wrong. At this time, a streak of light was rushing through the cave of the fallen gods, tearing space apart as it approached the mainland where they were. Behind this streak of light was Princess Wuyu, Yuan Shan, and a group of Wuyu Divine Country's experts. Princess Wuyu, Yuan Shan, and the others were being carried by the space-time force emitted by the streak of light. Although the streak of light was carrying Princess Wuyu, Yuan Shan, and the others, its speed was still terrifying. Inside the streak of light was none other than the God ranking list's expert, Fu Zangsheng. After learning that his 3 and 4 disciples were killed, Fu Zangsheng spared no effort in using the space-time teleportation talisman he had obtained in the past to teleport over. Lu Yiping, I know you're in the cave of the fallen gods. I, Fu Zangsheng, am here, roll out here. Fu Zangsheng bellowed. His voice rumbled like thunder, echoing through many layers of space. Every mainland's experts in the cave of the fallen gods heard his thunderous voice. It's the God ranking list's Lord Fu Zangsheng. Lord Fu Zangsheng is here. A God ranking list expert actually came to our Eternal Essence world. How many years has it been since a God ranking list expert came to our Eternal Essence world? Many experts were excited. It was as if it was the Eternal Essence world's greatest honor to have a God ranking list expert here. It seems like the rumor that Lu Yiping killed Lord Fu Zangsheng's 3 and 4 disciples is true. Lu Yiping has hit a wall this time. Now that Lord Fu Zangsheng is here, Lu Yiping wouldn't have gone into hiding, right? One expert after another discussed excitedly. Lu Yiping's annihilation of the Kunpeng Divine Sect and Demonic Dragon Palace had shaken the Eternal Essence world. Recently, the topic of discussion in the Eternal Essence world was Lu Yiping. But at the same time, there were many people who were unhappy with Lu Yiping. Taurus Longjiao sensed Fu Zangsheng's approaching figure and chuckled, this Fu guy is pretty fast. Long Daming looked suspiciously at Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others. Fu Zangsheng's flame of light finally arrived at the continent where Lu Yiping and the others were. When Fu Zangsheng approached Lu Yiping, Princess Wuyu, Yuan Shan, saw Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao in front of them. She exclaimed in surprise, Master, Lu Yiping is in front. That brat is Lu Yiping. Fu Zangsheng was stunned for a second. Then, he looked at Lu Yiping, and his eyes seemed to shoot out millions of sword rays. Lu Yiping looked over. Their gazes met. Invisible energy collided in midair. The surrounding mountain range began to crumble, and countless towering ancient trees were sent flying. It was merely the collision of two people's auras. Long Daming, Hu Zhua, Long Yu, Hu Mingcheng, and the others turned pale with fright and retreated in panic. While retreating in panic, Long Daming, Hu Zhua, and the others looked at Lu Yiping in shock. They never thought that this blue-robed young man in front of them was Lu Yiping. He Xia, Huang Yuandong, and the others also retreated to Lu Yiping's side, looking at the ball of light piercing through the air towards them. Before Fu Cangxing arrived, the shockwaves from the ball of light swept up a boundless amount of sand and stones. Long Dameng and the others felt the boundless energy rushing towards them, causing them to lose their footing. Once again, they retreated in panic. As Fu Cangxing got closer, they finally felt how terrifying a God List expert's strength was. Fu Cangxing landed on the ground. When Fu Cangxing's feet touched the ground shook violently. Fu Cangxing stood there like a majestic mountain, looking coldly at Lu Yiping. He did not make a move, instead, he walked towards Lu Yiping with his hands clasped behind his back. Chapter 210. Every time Fu Cangxing took a step, the ground would shake. As Fu Cangxing got closer to Lu Yiping, the ground shook even more violently. Moreover, the range of the tremors increased. First, it was several hundred li, then several thousand li, then 10,000 li. The sand and stones on the ground within 10,000 li seemed to be boiling as they rose into the air. Fu Cangxing's boundless aura caused the sky above the continent to change color. Thunder rumbled and lightning flashed. Even Long Dameng, Hu Zhuo, and the others who had retreated far away felt a terrifying pressure. It was as if their bodies were being strangled by an invisible hand. They wanted to break free, but they found that they couldn't. At this moment, Long Dameng and Hu Zhuo deeply felt the gap between them and the God-ranking experts. The carefree divine nation experts who had followed Fu Cangxing here were filled with shock as they looked at him. Princess Yuan Shan said to the carefree divine nation experts, "I've said it before, you ants have no idea how terrifying the God-ranking experts are. This is merely my master's divine might. My master has yet to show his true strength. Open your eyes and watch carefully how my master kills Lu Yiping with a single punch." Fu Cangxing stopped 100 meters away from Lu Yiping and stared coldly at Lu Yiping as if he was looking at a dead man. Back then, even that brat holy demon didn't dare to touch a single hair on my disciple's head. Lu Yiping, tell me, how do you want to die? Do you want to die kneeling or standing? I'll fulfill your last wish. Indifferent smiles appeared on Taurus Longjiao's face when he heard Huang Xiaolong's words. He stepped forward and was about to attack. Fu Cangxing glanced at Taurus Longjiao and said, "Lu Yiping, what's wrong? You don't even have the guts to fight me? You sent a slave to die in your place. Fine, I'll kill your dog slave first, then I'll kill you." After Fu Cangxing finished speaking, a punch suddenly blasted out. For the common people. For the common people. For the common people. Fu Cangxing's cold voice resounded throughout the cave of the fallen gods. At this moment, everyone in the cave of the fallen gods could hear Fu Cangxing's cold, domineering, and dignified voice. At this moment, everyone could feel Fu Cangxing's invincible might. Dong! When Fu Cangxing punched out, the world became resplendent. Every corner of the continent seemed to light up. Even the surrounding continents were illuminated by the fist light. This punch seemed to have gathered the light of millions of suns. At this moment, everyone stopped, their hearts filled with shock. Although the experts from other continents did not see Fu Cangxing, when they heard Fu Cangxing's voice and saw the dazzling fist light, some of them fell to their knees in excitement. Lord Fu Cangxing is invincible. On the other hand, Princess Wuyu, Yuan Shan, and the group of Wuyu Divine Country's experts were shocked beyond words. The Wuyu Divine Country's ancestor, who was worried about Lu Yiping's might, knelt down in excitement, shouting at the top of his lungs, "Lord Fu Cangxing's might is unrivaled." Yuan Shan looked at Fu Cangxing's imposing figure with a face full of infatuation. "I am for the common people, I am responsible for the common people, I am the master of the common people. What kind of hero is he?" Long Dameng, Hu Zhuo, and the others were also shocked looking at Fu Cangxing's resplendent fist light. This is Lord Fu Cangxing's tyrannical life fist. So strong, too strong. Long Damon couldn't help but exclaim, Lu Yiping must die. Taurus Longjiao smiled indifferent looking at the incoming life fist. Just as he was about to make a move, Lu Yiping's hand stopped him, saying, let me do it. With that said, Lu Yiping took a step forward. When Lu Yiping's foot stepped out, the ground that was shaking violently due to Fu Cangsheng's attack suddenly stopped. When Lu Yiping took a second step, the ground shook violently. The entire continent exploded, and a terrifying rift extended to the horizon. Lu Yiping punched out. Buzz! Space exploded. An indescribably large fist imprint broke through space. Long Dameng, Huzhua, Yuan Shan, the carefree divine country's ancestor, and the others felt as if they were seeing an illusion. This fist imprint was bigger than the heaven and earth they saw. Fu Cangsheng's extremely resplendent life fist that lit up the entire continent exploded in an instant. It smashed towards Fu Cangsheng like crushing dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. Fu Cangsheng stood where he was, his imposing figure exuding the heaven's might, but in front of this fist imprint, he seemed so small and weak. Shock flashed across Fu Cangsheng's eyes, followed by fear, and then fear. He raised his head, looking at Lu Yiping's fist imprint that seemed capable of surpassing the heavens. Disbelief was written all over his face. How could a person's strength surpass the heavens? All living beings in this world were beneath the heavens. No one's strength could surpass the heavens, but this Lu Yiping's strength actually surpassed the heavens. Amidst Fu Cangsheng's fear, a large blade appeared in his hand. The blade was dripping with blood, as if it had just slaughtered a supreme expert. This was the ancient divine artifact, Life Saber. Life Saber can extinguish all life. The life saber in Fu Cangsheng's hand slashed out. This slash contained the power to split the heavens. It was as if heaven and earth were split into two. But it was useless. This life saber that could extinguish all life was still dispersed by Lu Yiping's fist imprint. Then, everyone saw Lu Yiping's fist imprint sending Fu Cangsheng flying into a distant mountain peak. The fist imprint continued forward, flattening one mountain peak after another. It was unknown how many mountain ranges there were in front of Fu Cangsheng, but wherever the fist imprint passed, all the mountain peaks were flattened. In the end, the fist imprint sent Fu Cangsheng flying out of the continent. Then, the fist imprint continued forward, sending Fu Cangsheng flying into a distant continent. Rumble. That continent quaked violently. After Fu Cangsheng was sent flying into the distant continent, the fist imprint continued forward, sending Fu Cangsheng into the deepest part of the continent. The fist imprint's light beam finally disappeared. Everyone looked over and saw a huge ravine that was countless miles wide on the ground. Then, it extended all the way to the continent in the distance. This was the terrifying fist imprint left behind by Lu Yiping's fist imprint. Long Dameng, Huzhua, Yuan Shan, and the carefree divine nation's experts were stupefied when they saw the biggest fist imprint they had ever seen in their lives. Everyone looked at the terrifying fist mark, and for a moment, they forgot whether Fu Cangsheng, who had been blasted from one continent to another, was dead or alive. Even He Xia, Long Gu, Huang Yuandong, and the others were dumbfounded. Previously, Lu Yiping had shattered thousands of mountains in the Forbidden Land with a single fist imprint. That was terrifying enough, but compared to this fist imprint, it was like a small stone in front of a mountain. The surrounding continent's experts, who were excited by Fu Cangsheng's invincible fist imprint, were dumbfounded when they saw Fu Cangsheng being sent flying out of the continent by Lu Yiping's fist imprint. Lu Yiping's voice was cold, God ranking list expert. That's it. Life Saber Fist, that's it. Lu Yiping's voice echoed throughout the cave of the fallen gods. Chapter 211. Lu Yiping's voice was filled with contempt for an expert on the god ranking list. Lu Yiping's voice was filled with contempt for Fu Cangsheng. But at this moment, the entire cave of the fallen gods was deathly silent. No one dared to speak. No one dared to speak. Perhaps it was because the power Lu Yiping had just displayed was too terrifying, too shocking, that no one could speak, no one could voice their shameful thoughts. Even Princess Wu Yuan Shan, who had previously praised Fu Cangsheng as a hero, could not speak. She was furious. She did not believe it. But she was even more shocked. Even more terrified, even more desperate. In the silence of the cave of the fallen gods, Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived above Fu Cangsheng's head. Lu Yiping looked at Fu Cangsheng, who was on the verge of death, his divine armor shattered, his divine body covered in bloody wounds, and blood gushing out of his wounds. Heaven suppression. Earth suppression. Eternity suppression. Lu Yiping's cold voice once again resounded throughout the cave of the fallen gods. As Lu Yiping's cold voice rang out, the resplendent fist pillar came crashing down. From afar, it looked like a heavenly pillar hanging from the heavens. The heavenly fist pillar slammed into Fu Cangsheng's body. Rumble. The entire continent trembled violently. Then, everyone saw an unforgettable scene. The heavenly fist pillar plowed into the depths of the continent and finally blasted a hole through it. The fist pillar pierced through the continent's depths. Fu Cangsheng was also blasted out of the continent's depths. Everyone watched as the continent floating above the cave of the fallen gods was blasted through. Their minds were blank, and they could not think of anything else. From afar, it looked like the continent had been pierced through from the top to the bottom by a terrifying pillar of light. And standing at the very top of this pillar of light was a young man in a light blue robe, a young man who seemed to dominate the world. Lu Yiping stood high up in the sky, without the slightest hint of power, but it was as if the entire world was in his hands, the gods were beneath his feet, and billions of immortals and demons prostrated themselves before him. His blue robe fluttered even though there was no wind. When Fu Cangsheng was blasted out of the continent, his body began to collapse bit by bit. Although they were separated by a great distance, everyone could clearly see the process of Fu Cangsheng's flesh disintegrating bit by bit, and even the details. Everyone could even see the fear, despair, and regret in Fu Cangsheng's eyes before he died. Some even saw the tears in his eyes. Was it an illusion? The man ranked 79th on the divine list actually had watery eyes. Some people even heard Fu Cangsheng's angry roar before he died, but they didn't hear what it was about. However, it was filled with unwillingness and resentment. Fu Cangsheng was dead. A cultivator ranked 79th on the god ranking list had traveled hundreds of millions of miles from the void plain to the cave of the fallen gods. Many powerful existences had been buried in the cave of the fallen gods. Today, there was one more. An old ancestor looked at the blue-robed figure in the sky and muttered, "After the sacred demon, our Hang Yuan finally has another god list." There was an unwritten rule in the 17 worlds, as long as one defeated or killed an expert on the god ranking list, they could replace that person's ranking. Now, Lu Yiping had killed Fu Cangsheng, which meant that Lu Yiping had replaced Fu Cangsheng's ranking on the god ranking list. Lu Yiping stepped on the air and returned to He Xia, Long Gu, and the others in the blink of an eye. He Xia, Long Gu, Huang Yuandong, and the others couldn't help prostrating on the ground. Taurus Longjiao spoke, "Don't be too agitated, that was just a little bit of master's strength." Just a little bit of strength. Taurus Longjiao's words battered the fragile hearts of Long Dameng and the Dragon King's sex experts. Of course, none of them believed Taurus Longjiao's words, but it didn't matter whether they believed it or not. Lu Yiping had He Xia, Long Gu, Huang Yuandong, and the others stand up. His gaze fell onto Long Dameng, Long Yu, and the others. Long Dameng and Long Yu's bodies went soft, unable to stand firm no matter how hard they tried. Both of them fell from the air. However, even after falling to the ground, Long Dameng, Long Yu, and the other Dragon King sex experts were still unable to stand firm. Lu Yiping looked at Long Dameng. "If I remember correctly, you said that all of us will be buried together with Long Gu, right?" Long Dameng's face was ashen as he pleaded, "Lord, please spare my life." Lu Yiping casually flicked his finger and Long Dameng was sent flying. When Long Damon crashed to the ground, his body was covered in lightning and fire, incinerating into nothingness in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, there was the sound of running water. The Dragon King Sek's young lord Long Yu's pants were wet. It was clear to see how terrified Long Yu was. Lu Yiping frowned. In the end, Lu Yiping ordered the Limitless Star Palace's 100,000 World Surface Masters to practice with Long Gu and the Dragon King Sek's experts. This time, the Dragon King Sek's several hundred experts were dumbfounded when they saw the 100,000 World Surface Masters. Even the 7 Spirit Fox clans Hu Zhua and the others were frightened. Among the 17 worlds, even the strongest Maha clan in the Void World didn't have 100,000 World Surface Masters, right? Under the practice of the Great Void Thunder Formation and the Soaring Dragon Formation, the Masters of the Dragon King sect were only hit once. They didn't even suffer a single blow. After killing several hundred Dragon King Sek's experts, Lu Yiping glanced at the Carefree Divine Country's experts in the distance and ordered the World Surface Masters to start the second round of practice. The Carefree Divine Country's princess, Yuan Shan, was blasted into pieces by He Xie's lightning strike. After dealing with the Carefree Divine Country's experts, Lu Yiping looked at the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts. The 7 Spirit Fox clan's patriarch, Hu Zhua, and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts were already kneeling on the ground. Hu Zhua, who had previously said that Lu Yiping dared to provoke Fu Sangsheng was arrogant and ignorant, was kneeling on the ground, trembling. His voice sounded like he was about to cry, "Lord, my 7 Spirit Fox clan had no intention of provoking Lord, please spare our lowly lives." Now, even if Lu Yiping asked him to kill other God ranking list experts, he was willing to do so. Looking at the trembling 7 Spirit Fox clan's patriarch Hu Zhua, Lu Yiping asked, "What are you looking for on this mainland?" Hu Zhua quickly answered, replying to Lord, "We are here to look for ancient god Duan Long's treasure trove." "Oh, that brat Duan Long's treasure trove is here?" Taurus Longjiao was surprised. Duan Long was a descendant of the Master of Myriad Gods. Duan Long's talent was amazing. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had seen countless geniuses, but those who could compare to Duan Long could be counted on one hand. "Bring us there," Lu Yiping said with a deep gaze. "Yes, Lord," Hu Zhua answered happily. She quickly got up and led Lu Yiping's group to the giant Rift Valley. Soon, they saw the giant Rift Valley. Hu Zhua said, "It's at the bottom of the Rift Valley." Huang Yuandong suddenly said to Lu Yiping, "Lord, it was at this Rift Valley that I obtained the world-cleansing jade." Chapter 212. Lu Yiping was surprised to hear that Huang Yuandong had also found the world-cleansing jade in the Rift Valley. Lu Yiping arrived at the top of the Rift Valley. When he reached the top of the Rift Valley, the 2 creation jade discs in his body suddenly vibrated. This feeling was similar to when he had sensed the 2nd creation jade disc in the Sky Demon tribe. Lu Yiping was overjoyed. This meant that there was another creation jade disc at the bottom of the Rift Valley. Immediately, Lu Yiping broke through the poisonous miasma and descended to the bottom of the Rift Valley with the others. While Lu Yiping and the others descended to the bottom of the Rift Valley, the cave of the fallen gods was in an uproar. Fu Sangsheng of the god list is dead. For many years, no one on the god list has been killed. On a nearby continent, Lu Lei, the 9 Stars Realm's patriarch of the Divine Dao sect, sighed with emotion. "Master of the Saint Devil Realm? This Lu Yiping is amazing." He had clearly seen the scene of Fu Sangsheng being killed by Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's heaven-defying strength had shaken him to the core. Lu Lei's disciple, Fu Yifan, said, "Master, how do you think Lu Yiping compares to our Lord of 9 Stars? The Lord of 9 Stars was the strongest person in the 9 Stars realm. She was also an expert on the god list and ranked 14th. Lu Lei froze, then shook his head. Although Lu Yiping killed Fu Sangsheng and his power shook the heavens, he's still far too weak compared to the Lord of 9 Stars of our plane. The Lord of 9 Stars' power has reached an unimaginable level." Then he said, "Let's go, we should leave the cave of the fallen gods. With Lu Yiping here, we can forget about the ancient god Duan Long's secret manual. Then, he led his disciples out of the cave of the fallen gods. Master, are we going back to the 9 stars realm? Fu Yifan asked. No, since we're on the divine land, let's go to the snow-listening divine nation to see that Kid Muyang, Lu Lei said. The snow-listening divine nation's monarch, Leng Muyang, was his in-name disciple. When Fu Yifan heard this, he smiled and said, I haven't seen junior brother Muyang in a long time. Junior brother Muyang seems to be obsessed with alchemy and array formations. I heard that the snow-listening divine nation holds an alchemy and array formation competition every few years, and the rewards are abundant. Even I want to participate. Lu Lei laughed, I actually miss this brat's tree garden. The fruits of the jade flame tree in his tree garden should be ripe by now. Also, I don't know if he has successfully cultivated those 2 tree pieces. The 2 of them flew toward the snow-listening divine nation. On one of the continents inside the cave of fallen gods, the hell-suppressing divine kingdom's experts also received news of Fu Zangxing's death at the hands of Lu Yiping. Hearing this news, the hell-suppressing divine kingdom's great ancestor Chen Huai and the rest of the hell-suppressing divine kingdom's experts paled. We still underestimated Lu Yiping. His strength is actually so tyrannical. Chen Huai's face was gloomy. Lord Great Ancestor, why don't we leave the divine land? One of the hell-suppressing divine kingdom's ancestors suggested weakly. Chen Huai's expression turned frosty. His sharp gaze pierced through the hell-suppressing divine kingdom's ancestor, scaring him to his knees. Lord Great Ancestor, I'm not afraid of death. I'm just thinking for our hell-suppressing divine kingdom. The hell-suppressing divine kingdom's ancestor argued, revenge is a dish best served cold. With our hell-suppressing divine kingdom's current strength, we can't resist Lu Yiping. That's right, Lord Great Ancestor, we're only leaving temporarily. We'll come back in the future. Another ancestor also knelt and persuaded. The group of ancestors also knelt down. Chen Huai's expression darkened. Migrating an entire nation was no small matter. All of you, get up. Chen Huai's expression softened. After everyone got up, he said solemnly, migrating an entire nation is no small matter. Where are we going? Why don't we go to the Void Plain? One of the ancestors suggested, the Void Plain is the first of the 17 plains. We can seek protection from the Maha clan. The Maha clan is the #1 clan, and their patriarch ranks first on the god ranking list. If we have Patriarch Maha's protection, we won't have to fear Lu Yiping. At that time, Lu Yiping won't even dare to fart. Chen Huai shook his head, we have no friendship with the Maha clan, and they won't care about our little force. If we submit to the Maha clan, we won't be valued. At that time, we'll be living under someone else's roof, living a cowardly life. Moreover, the eternal ether plane is far away from the void plane. It's not convenient to migrate an entire nation. He thought for a moment, then said, my master had a good relationship with the Lord of 9 Stars. We can go to the 9 Stars plane. Lu Yiping didn't know any of this. At this time, he, Taurus Longjiao, Huang Yuandong, and the others had arrived at the bottom of the rift. After arriving at the bottom of the rift, Lu Yiping sensed the 3rd creation jade disc and flew forward. My lord, it's in front. Huang Yuandong pointed ahead. Lu Yiping nodded. Everyone followed behind Lu Yiping in a mighty manner. Finally, they arrived at the end of the rift. There was a huge ruin at the end, and there were broken walls everywhere. Obviously, there used to be a complex of buildings here, but it had been destroyed later. Lu Yiping punched out, and all the broken walls were sent flying. When the broken walls were sent flying, a shining jade disc appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Lu Yiping stretched out his hand, and the jade disc fell into his hand. It was the 3rd creation jade disc. Seeing the 3rd creation jade disc, Lu Yiping was overjoyed. He had finally found the 3rd creation jade disc. He had now collected 3 of the 24 creation jade discs. After putting away the 3rd creation jade disc, Lu Yiping looked at the dark hole in the ground. The cave entrance had just been buried under the crumbling walls. Everyone looked at the hole in surprise. Earlier, they had used their divine sense to scan the ruins, but they did not find this hole. This hole has a concealment formation. It's an ancient formation, so it's normal that you didn't find it. Taurus Longjiao said, when Master attacked just now, he had already broken the concealment formation. You guys wait here. Lu Yiping said to everyone. Then, he and Taurus Longjiao entered the hole in a flash, disappearing from everyone's sight. After entering the hole, they flew through the darkness for a while. Then, their eyes lit up as they arrived at a place that looked like a paradise. In this space, birds chirped, flowers bloomed, and waterfalls flowed. There were many divine trees that were rarely seen, and these divine trees were covered in fruits. There were several palaces in the midst of birds chirping and flowers blooming. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao walked towards the palaces. In the main palace, there was a large saber. It's Duan Long's Dragonbreaker saber. Taurus Longjiao said. Lu Yiping picked up the large saber. It was quite heavy in his hand. Half of a dragon's body was branded on the large saber. After putting away the Dragonbreaker saber, Lu Yiping went to the other palaces. There were only some secret manuals, some elixirs, and some ancient artifacts in the other palaces. These things were of no use to Lu Yiping, but after some consideration, Lu Yiping also took them. It's strange that the creation jade disc appeared near Duan Long's secret treasure. Could there be a connection? Taurus Longjiao said. Chapter 213. Lu Yiping was just as confused. It was too much of a coincidence for the creation jade disc to appear in the vicinity of the broken dragon's secret treasure. However, he and Taurus Longjiao searched the secret treasure palace but couldn't find any clues. Half an hour later, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao emerged from the broken dragon's secret treasure palace. Then, Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others left the Rift Valley and returned to the surface. As for the broken dragon's secret treasure, Lu Yiping arranged a grand formation to reseal it. After returning to the surface, Lu Yiping gave Huang Yuandong 100 drops of star chaos water on the spot. If it weren't for Huang Yuandong, he wouldn't have found the 3rd creation jade disc so easily. However, Lu Yiping didn't leave the cave of the fallen gods immediately. Instead, he continued to stroll around the cave of the fallen gods. One day later, Lu Yiping's group left the cave of the fallen gods. It seems like Fu Cangxing's death has frightened the hell-suppressing divine nation, causing them to flee to the 9 stars realm, Taurus Longjiao said after exiting the cave of the fallen gods. The news that the hell-suppressing divine nation had fled the divine land to seek the protection of the Lord of 9 stars had spread. Master, should we chase after them? Taurus Longjiao asked. No need. Lu Yiping shook his head and said, we'll just make a trip to the 9 stars realm. Then, he added, we're going to the snow-listening divine nation now. He suspected that the other tree block in the snow-listening divine nation's ruler's hand was the creation tree block. Thus, Lu Yiping and the others returned to the snow-listening divine nation. As for the 7 spirit fox clans Hu Zhua and the others, Lu Yiping didn't make things difficult for them. When the 7 spirit fox clans people left, they kowtowed and thanked Huang Yuandong profusely. Although the snow-listening divine nation's power wasn't as strong as the hell-suppressing divine nation or the carefree divine nation, it wasn't weak either. It ranked 9th among the divine land's 10 super divine nations. After traveling for some time, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived at the divine capital of the snow-listening divine nation. The heavenly capital of Tingxue stood tall on the plains, and people were weaving in and out of the city gate. Lu Yiping and the others entered the heavenly capital of Tingxue. After entering the immortals' capital, everyone was discussing the snow-listening divine nation's alchemy and formation competition. The snow-listening divine nation held an alchemy and array formation competition every 3 years. The alchemy and formation competition had just ended yesterday. I didn't expect that the champion of this year's alchemy and array formation competition would come from the Tianlong Divine Kingdom. Is this Ao Shua the nephew of the Tianlong Divine Kingdom's ruler? I heard that the hell-suppressing divine nation fled in fright. The carefree divine nation's princess, Yuan Shan, and a group of experts were squashed to death by Lu Yiping. Even Fu Zangsheng was beaten to death. The Forbidden Land's divine nation's capital was reduced to dust by Lu Yiping's cauldron. Without these countries participating, it's not surprising that the champion would be Ao Shua from the Tianlong divine nation. However, other than the alchemy and formation competition, most people were talking about Lu Yiping and the Lord of Nine Stars. The hell-suppressing divine nation went to the Nine Stars plain to seek protection from the Lord of Nine Stars. Say, do you think Lu Yiping will dare to kill his way to the Lord of Nine Stars' city? I don't think so. Lu Yiping may have killed Fu Zangsheng, but he's still no match for a titan like the Lord of Nine Stars. In the past, someone ranked 33rd on the God ranking challenged the Lord of Nine Stars. In the end, the Lord of Nine Stars punched him to death with a single punch. Afterward, the Lord of Nine Stars' mount devoured his flesh and blood. Ever since the hell-suppressing divine nation went to the Nine Stars plain to seek protection from the Lord of Nine Stars, Lu Yiping heard people in every city he went to talk about whether or not he'd fight the Lord of Nine Stars. They talked about whether or not he'd dare to kill his way to the Nine Stars plain. They talked about what would happen if he fought the Lord of Nine Stars. However, almost everyone said that although he'd killed Fu Zangsheng, he was still far from being a match for the Lord of Nine Stars. Disregarding everything else, the Lord of Nine Stars had killed someone ranked 33rd on the God ranking with a single punch. She wasn't someone Lu Yiping, who just entered the God ranking, could compare to. He Xia, Ba Dao, Long Gu, and Chi Yu followed behind Lu Yiping. When they heard the people in front of them talking about how Lu Yiping would be killed with a single punch if he dared to challenge the Lord of Nine Stars, they couldn't help but frown. Just as they were about to step forward and drag Lu Yiping away, Lu Yiping reached out and stopped them. Forget it. Right now, the entire divine land was talking about him. He couldn't kill everyone who was talking about him, could he? At this moment, on the second floor of the largest tavern in Divine Snow Capital, the Crimson Flame Divine Sect's first disciple, Zhao Tianyu, was clinking glasses with Ao Shua of the Sky Dragon Divine Nation. Zhao Tianyu smiled obsequiously. Congratulations, brother Ao Shua, for winning the alchemy and formation competitions. Previously, at the Thunder Volcano, Zhao Tianyu's divine veins had been shattered by the jade-faced Wolf Lord, and he had been on the verge of death. After a few days, Zhao Tianyu's injuries seemed to have healed. Ao Shua replied politely, then drank the wine in his cup. He smiled and said, this time, the Prison Suppression Divine Nation, Carefree Divine Nation, and Forbidden Lands Divine Nation didn't participate. That's why I was able to win the alchemy and formation competitions. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the chance to win. Zhao Tianyu smiled. Brother Ao Shua's alchemy and formation skills have already reached the level of refining pills with the fire of heaven and earth, and creating formations with a single thought. Winning the championship is what everyone wants. Even the Prison Suppression Divine Nation's disciples can't beat Brother Ao Shua. He then added, compared to Brother Ao Shua 3 years ago, I think Du Dalai isn't even worthy to be Brother Ao Shua's assistant. Du Dalai was the alchemy and formation competition's champion 3 years ago. Another young sect master from the Cloud Divine Nation suddenly smiled and said, I heard that Brother Zhao Tianyu was beaten half to death by Du Dalai's people a few days ago at the Thunder Volcano. Even his divine veins were shattered. I've also heard about this matter. Another young sect master laughed, Brother Zhao Tianyu, your divine veins have been reconnected, right? How are your injuries? Zhao Tianyu's face was ugly. Hearing these people instigating this matter, his hatred for Du Dalai deepened. Suddenly, right at this time, he saw a figure in blue through the tavern's window. It's him. Zhao Tianyu's eyes turned cold, and he jumped to his feet. Brother Zhao Tianyu, what's wrong? The heavenly dragon divine nation's Ao Shua was baffled by Zhao Tianyu's strange behavior. It's the people around Du Dalai that day. Zhao Tianyu said coldly. Ao Shua and the others were astounded. Since we've met, let's go out and take a look. Ao Shua smiled. All these years, people had been comparing him with Du Dalai, and he didn't have a good impression of Du Dalai. Ao Shua, Zhao Tianyu, and the others walked out of the tavern. When Zhao Tianyu saw Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others walking in front, he barked, "All of you, stop right there." His voice rumbled like thunder. Many disciples walking on the streets recognized Zhao Tianyu, Ao Shua, and the others, and they were shocked. Hearing the shout, Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others frowned and turned around. At this time, inside the Listening Snow Divine Nation's Imperial Palace, the Listening Snow Divine Nation's ruler Leng Muyang was holding a banquet for the 9-star world's divine Dao sects Lu Lei, Fu Yifan, and the Heavenly Dragon Divine Nation's Ao Ishuan, Ao Bai, and the others. Inside the Imperial Palace's Great Hall, people were singing and dancing, laughing and joking. Chapter 214. Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others turned around. When they saw Zhao Tianyu, Taurus Longjiao looked like he had seen an old friend for a long time, smiling, "Hey, kid, it's you." He then looked at Zhao Tianyu from head to toe, saying, "You've recovered well since we parted at the lightning volcano." Zhao Tianyu's face darkened when Taurus Longjiao mentioned the lightning volcano again. Ao Shua reached out to stop Zhao Tianyu, who was about to rush forward. He looked at Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others. "You're Du Dalai's people." Du Dalai's people? Taurus Longjiao laughed. "So what if we are, so what if we aren't, so what? Let me out." Ao Shua frowned. Hearing Taurus Longjiao's words, Zhao Tianyu laughed angrily. "At the lightning volcano, your people broke my meridians." Taurus Longjiao was enlightened, interrupting, "Oh, I know, your meridians have been reconnected, so you came here to let us break your meridians again." He then said to Ao Shua and the others, "You guys are the same, right?" Zhao Tianyu and the others were enraged hearing this. Even Ao Shua glared at Taurus Longjiao, "Not to mention Du Dalai, even his master wouldn't dare to be so arrogant in front of me. I don't care what relationship you have with Du Dalai, but if you don't kneel down and apologize to me, none of you will walk out of this Listening Snow celestial capital today." However, just as he finished speaking, Taurus Longjiao sent him flying with a slap, crashing to the ground in the distance. Blood spurted out from Ao Shua's mouth, his face was crooked, and his meridians shattered inch by inch. Zhao Tianyu and the other young lords were dumbfounded. Those who knew Ao Shua's identity were dumbfounded. Even Ao Shua, who was vomiting blood from the slap, was dumbfounded. Feeling the shattered meridians in his body, Ao Shua looked at Taurus Longjiao in shock and anger, roaring, "Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? You dare to break my meridians? You're courting death, do you know that?" He was the champion of this year's alchemy and array competition, as well as the nephew of the Tianlong Divine Kingdom's ruler. Among the younger generation of the Tianlong Divine Kingdom, whether it was alchemy or array formation, he was one of the most outstanding geniuses. He was highly valued by his uncle, the Tianlong Divine Kingdom's ruler. No one had ever dared to treat him like this. Ao Shua's roar spread far and wide. However, as soon as he said that, Taurus Longjiao slapped him again, causing him to roll on the ground and crash into the opposite building. He then fainted completely. Zhao Tianyu and the other young lords were even more shocked. Zhao Tianyu regained his senses and looked at Taurus Longjiao in shock and anger. "Do you know who he is?" "He is the nephew of the Tianlong Divine Country's ruler." "Tianlong Divine Country, do you know?" Zhao Tianyu said angrily, "You're all dead." Before he could finish, Taurus Longjiao's slap sent Zhao Tianyu flying into the snow-listening Divine Kingdom's palace, crashing into the palace's walls. A loud boom sounded from the snow-listening divine kingdom's walls, and a large gap was formed. The entire snow-listening divine kingdom's capital shook. Inside the snow-listening divine kingdom's main hall, Leng Muyang, Lu Lei, Ao Ishuan, O Bai, and the others were laughing and singing when they heard the loud boom. The singing and dancing girls in the main hall also stopped. Leng Muyang put down his wine cup and asked solemnly, "What happened?" At this time, one of the palace's experts rushed into the hall, reporting, "It's the Red Flame Divine Sect's chief disciple, Xiao Tianyu. He was smashed into our palace's walls." Leng Muyang, Lu Lei, Ao Ishuan, and the others were dumbfounded. They knew the Red Flame Divine Sect's chief had a good relationship with Leng Muyang. But now, the Red Flame Divine Sect's chief disciple was smashed into the snow-listening Divine Kingdom's palace walls. Leng Muyang frowned, asking solemnly, "Do you know who the culprit is?" "We're already investigating." The palace's expert hurried to answer. However, another palace's expert rushed into the hall, reporting to Leng Muyang, "Your Majesty, we just received news that young noble Ao Shua's divine veins were shattered, and he's unconscious on the street." "What?" Not only Leng Muyang, but Ao Ishuan, Ao Bai, and the others also jumped to their feet. Inside the main hall, everyone stood up in shock. Xiao Tianyu's death was already a surprise to everyone. Now, even Ao Shua's divine veins were shattered. More importantly, Ao Shua was not the Red Flame Divine Sect's Xiao Tianyu, but the Heavenly Dragon Divine Country's ruler, Ao Ishuan's nephew. The Heavenly Dragon Divine Country's ruler, Ao Ishuan, was right here. Leng Muyang's eyes were frosty. "Mobilize all the snow-listening Divine Kingdom's forces, capture the culprit. Now!" Immediately. Ao Ishuan's voice was solemn, "No need, snow-listening Heavenly Ruler, our Heavenly Dragon Divine Country will do it ourselves." He then turned to the snow-listening Divine Country's palace's expert, "Where is the culprit now? Bring us there." The snow-listening Divine Country's palace's expert was stunned, but he complied respectfully. Under the snow-listening Divine Country's palace's experts' lead, Ao Ishuan, Ao Bai, and the Heavenly Dragon Divine Country's experts soared into the air, flying towards Lu Yiping. Seeing this, Leng Muyang, Lu Lei, Fu Yifan, and the others also followed. In a split second, the snow-listening Divine Country's experts, as well as the other Divine Country's super sex experts in the main hall, rushed towards Lu Yiping. The snow-listening Divine Countries, Heavenly Dragon Divine Countries, and super sex experts flying over the snow-listening Divine Country's airspace shocked everyone. "It's the Heavenly Dragon Ruler and snow-listening Heavenly Ruler. What's going on? What happened?" Inside the Divine Capital, many people were still clueless about what was going on. Seeing the Heavenly Dragon Emperor and snow-listening Divine Country's ruler moving out together, they were astounded. It seems to be Ao Shua. His meridians were shattered by someone at the snow-listening tavern. Many people saw it. Someone said. The crowd was in an uproar. Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others also sensed the snow-listening Divine Country's army coming towards them, and they stopped in their tracks. Following the snow-listening Divine Country's palace's experts' lead, Ao Ishuan saw the snow-listening tavern from afar. The snow-listening tavern was the biggest tavern in the snow-listening Divine Capital. The building was tall and it occupied a large area, making it very conspicuous. The snow-listening Divine Country's palace's expert pointed at a street not far from the snow-listening tavern. It was those people who did it. Ao Ishuan's gaze followed the direction the expert was pointing at, and he saw a light blue figure standing on the street. That light blue figure's handsome face was beyond words. At this time, Lu Yiping also looked over. The originally angry Ao Ishuan's eyes widened in shock, and his body stiffened. For a moment, he forgot to circulate his god force and fly, falling from the sky. Ao Bai, who was beside Ao Ishuan, also fell from the sky when he saw that face. The several tens of thousands of experts from various divine kingdoms and super sects who had followed Aoi Xuan to the heavenly dragon divine kingdom were dumbfounded when they saw Aoi Xuan and young Lord Ao by falling from the sky. Chapter 2:15. Even the heavenly dragon divine country's experts were dumbfounded. They had never seen their heavenly dragon ruler and young lord lose their composure like this. At this time, Aoi Xuan, who had fallen to the ground from a high altitude and was covered in sand and dust, was still crawling forward. Crawl. Watching the heavenly dragon ruler Aoi Xuan crawl forward after falling to the ground with his head lowered, everyone was dumbfounded. No one could understand why the heavenly dragon divine country's ruler Aoi Xuan would act like this. Suddenly, the divine Dao sect's Lu Lei turned to look at the blue-robed figure. His face was filled with bewilderment. Although he had seen the scene of Fu Cangsheng being killed in the fallen god's cave, he did not see Lu Yiping's face clearly. Just as Leng Muyang was about to speak, Aoi Xuan suddenly kowtowed. Sinner Aoi Xuan kowtows to the Lord. Aoi Xuan kowtows to the Lord. Aoi Xuan and Ao Bai both prostrated on the ground, their voices trembling. Sinner. Hearing Aoi Xuan call himself a sinner, everyone was astounded, looking ahead in disbelief at the blue-robed figure at the end of the street. He is Lu Lei's disciple, Fu Yifan stuttered, Saint Devil Master, Lu Yiping. Saint Devil Master. Everyone's mind went blank. In an instant, the people high in the air fell to the ground like rain. More than 10,000 people slammed into the ground with loud rumbling noises. The snow-listening divine country's streets were paved with hard granite, thus, the ground cracked under the weight of several thousand people. Sand and dust flew high into the air. These experts came from various divine countries' super sects, some even came from their respective divine countries' royal families, and some were like Aoi Xuan and Leng Muyang, rulers of their own countries. But now, all of them had fallen to the ground. No one dared to stay high in the air, no one dared to look down at the blue-robed figure. When they fell to the ground, everyone prostrated themselves on the ground, their reaction was swift. Even Lu Lei and Fu Yifan from the Nine-Star World's Divine Dao sect did not dare to remain standing, prostrating on the ground with the rest. This was the deterrence power of a God list expert. The number of experts in each world was innumerable. The God list experts were the strongest 100 experts in the 17 worlds. To experts from the 17 worlds experts, the God list experts were the true rulers of the 17 worlds, supreme existences. Ao Shua has offended you, please punish me, Aoi Xuan said in a trembling voice. To him, Lu Yiping was not only an expert on the divine list, but also his savior. If it weren't for Lu Yiping, he would have died a long time ago. Lu Yiping looked at the terrified Aoi Xuan and said, "Get up, it's not a big deal." Then he said to Leng Muyang and the others, "You guys get up too." To Lu Yiping, this was just a trivial matter, but to Aoi Xuan, Leng Muyang, and the others, it was an earth-shattering matter. Therefore, no one dared to stand up. "Get up, all of you." Lu Yiping raised his voice. Aoi Xuan, Leng Muyang, and the others panicked when they heard that. Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and He Xia walked over. Everyone lowered their heads and held their breaths. "You're the snow-listening heavenly monarch." Lu Yiping's gaze fell on Leng Muyang. Leng Muyang's body tensed up, and he hurried to answer, "This lowly one is Leng Muyang. I heard that you've obtained 2 special tree pieces that can't be successfully cultivated." Lu Yiping said. Leng Muyang and the others were stunned. Even Lu Lei and Aoi Xuan were surprised. Judging from Lu Yiping's words, he was here for those 2 special tree pieces. Leng Muyang regained his senses and said in a hurry, "Yes, Lord, those 2 special tree pieces are in the depths of my palace's tree garden." He then respectfully invited Lu Yiping to the snow-listening heavenly nation's palace. Thus, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao followed Leng Muyang into the snow-listening heavenly nation's palace. Aoi Xuan and the others followed closely behind them. When they arrived at the snow-listening Heavenly Nation's palace's tree garden, Lu Yiping saw the two special tree pieces that Leng Muyang had collected. One of them was the Sun Fusang tree, and there were 4 of them. The other one was the creation tree, and although there were only 2 of them, each of them was more than a meter tall. Lu Yiping was overjoyed. "Where did you find these tree pieces?" Lu Yiping asked Leng Muyang, referring to the creation tree pieces. Leng Muyang's tense heart finally relaxed when he saw the joy on Lu Yiping's face. He answered, "I found them in the 9 Stars World's desolate forest." "Oh, the 9 Stars World?" Lu Yiping was surprised. "Yes." Leng Muyang said respectfully, "It was more than 30 years ago. At that time, I went to the 9 Stars World to visit a good friend. After that, I entered the desolate forest with my good friend to search for the Azure Flame Divine Tree, and found these 2 tree pieces. At that time, I felt that these 2 tree pieces were very special, very heavy, and very hard, so I brought them back to study. However, I've watered them with all kinds of divine water and cultivated them with all kinds of divine soil, but these 2 tree pieces still couldn't sprout." Leng Muyang shook his head. Desolate forest. Lu Yiping repeated it once, memorized it, and then asked Leng Muyang about the desolate forest's location in the 9 Stars World. "I want to buy these tree pieces." Lu Yiping said in a low voice, "Can you sell them to me? Or do you need some kind of treasure?" Leng Muyang quickly waved his hand, "In any case, I found these tree pieces by chance. If Lord wants them, feel free to take them. In any case, I can't cultivate these tree pieces successfully, they're just a few pieces of useless wood in this tree garden." Lu Yiping took out a jade bottle and said, "There are 1,000 drops of star chaos water in here." Leng Muyang's eyes widened as he stared at the jade bottle in shock. There were 1,000 drops of star chaos water in here. "Lord, no, I can't take it." In his shock, Leng Muyang stuttered. He was really frightened. He never thought that Lu Yiping would give him 1,000 drops of star chaos water. "Take it." Lu Yiping said, then said, "Do you need anything else? You said that you entered the desolate forest to look for the Azure Flame Divine Tree, right?" Leng Muyang quickly said, "Yes, I want to find some Azure Flame Divine Tree leaves to refine pills." He then asked meekly, "Does Lord know where to find the Azure Flame Divine Tree?" Lu Yiping nodded, "I know of one, I'll send someone to deliver the Azure Flame Divine Tree leaves to you." There was an Azure Flame Divine Tree in the heavenly capital city's myriad gods' residence, but its grade was too low, which was why Lu Yiping did not plant the Jotian soil in it and did not bring it with him. Leng Muyang was overjoyed at Lu Yiping's words, and he bowed to thank him. Lu Yiping put away the 2 Jotian tree pieces and the 4 Sun Fusang tree pieces. Although the Sun Fusang tree was not one of the top 10 spiritual roots, it was not inferior to the Phoenix Divine Tree. If it was cultivated, it might be useful in the future. Under Leng Muyang's warm invitation, Lu Yiping and the group returned to the snow-listening palace's main hall and drank a few cups of wine with them. The next day, Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, Ao Ishuan, and the rest left the snow-listening Divine Nation for the Heavenly Dragon Divine Nation. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.